Going live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dawn of Discussion. This time live with your hosts, appearing right now. Whoa. 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 Eesh.
No. No one's
No,
disruptive.
I don't. Are we doing cams? I'm fine either way.
I'm fine either way as well.
Yeah,
To be
let's
completely
let's let's do one session without and see how it goes. Anyway, welcome to Dawn of Discussion. We're live. Guy, me, we're hosting. Guy, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's
Good.
good. How are you enjoying this lockdown?
Bored. I'm bored as fuck, if I'm entirely honest.
Yeah.
There's nothing really to do for me other than help my parents move slightly. But even then, that's not exactly what I want to be doing in my time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because you're with them now, aren't you?
yeah.
Yeah. So you're not actually in London, unlike this chump.
Yeah, you got suckered. You're in
Yeah.
the epicenter.
I am in the middle of it, doing the daily grind.
I guess
People saying
someone's
I'm not a
gotta.
key worker, they're right. But whatever.
News stations must remain. Well, television stations must
Yeah,
remain
television
open.
stations, but what we're identifying currently as a news station, so that kind of gives us special rights. So that's nice. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy to have a job right now.
Yeah,
So
I'm still on furlough, so I guess there's that to be thankful for.
yeah. I mean, it's. I don't want to be that guy, but I think it's got to be nice to be paid to essentially just sit at home and do nothing.
It is and isn't because while it's nice to sort of sit at home and do nothing for a bit, there is a point where it kind of reaches you thinking, I'd rather be out doing something because I don't mind doing nothing for a, like a short period of time, like at most a month. But when it starts stretching on and on and on, and you're kind of thinking, well, this is grim and depressing.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Well, there's a case to be made that ever since the first lockdown as well, internationally but also like nationally, a lot more creative things have come up. Like a lot of people, like a lot of artists have been taking the time to actually like make more stuff from home.
Yeah,
Not
that's
necessarily good
true.
stuff, but stuff nonetheless.
So many would argue, in fact, specifically not good stuff.
I mean, well, what's come out since lockdown?
Lots of things, I guess. And I do mean lots of things.
Yeah. So it's not that bad when you think about it. And people are still going out, you
Yeah,
know.
true.
It's inauguration day, um, with probably one of the quickest inaugurations in the world.
Yeah. Eh.
Um,
I'm surprised there wasn't a riot.
I was very surprised because
I was watching a bit of it live though, and just the stream of like the mixed feelings of like either people going, "Oh, finally the country can get back on track," or just unadulterated hatred where they're like, "This is terrible, the worst thing to happen to the US. We have a loser for a president." Like, wow, you guys
yeah,
seriously need to stop simping for Donald Trump.
I think people should get off the internet maybe every once in a while
Yeah,
and like actually like you know fucking create
read a
a
book. I don't know.
make
Do
it make a
something.
personality for themselves. Like if their entire personality is just complaining about things. This is right and left, by the way. I don't want to get too political as usual, but like right and left, like there's people who are absolutely stupid and will say these things, even though let's be honest, what's the worst thing that has happened during Trump's administration outside of the US?
I mean, well, COVID was a pretty big thing, but if we're talking about what they're responsible for, not much, I guess.
Exactly. And I remember 4 years ago, people said that we are in the darkest timeline because Trump has won the election. But nothing happened. Not really.
No,
So
nothing.
ultimately, the people who are now saying that, Biden's going to ruin America, probably not.
No, because this is the thing. Trump really has fucked over America in the most recent times, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's not been impressive what he's been doing.
I don't know. I don't know what he's been doing.
Not much anything he has done. Actually, no, sorry, I know what he's done. He's just said the news is fake a lot, and that's pretty much it. That's almost pretty much everything he's done. Let's
Well,
be
there you
honest.
go. So if he hasn't really done anything, that means that he's not really done anything bad.
True, but I guess you could also argue he's not done anything good.
That I'm not arguing that. I'm not saying that he is a great president. I'm just saying he's not, the one who has ruined America.
Also, to be fair, I struggle to really think of any presidents that have truly ruined America. There have been a
Well,
few that have come close, won't
yeah,
lie, but America's still there. It's still standing.
yeah. No,
Still trying.
there's not really many. Well, you could say George Washington.
That what that he ruined America.
Yes.
I'm intrigued by the train of thought here. Please explain.
Well, he was the first president, right?
Yes.
I rest my case.
What? I don't get it.
All I can
But
say is that I'm Dutch, and there's a little bit of colonist in me. That's all I can say. So Anyway,
how dare he liberate this colony of ours that he was once a part of and
yeah.
where he was actually from our countries originally.
And then
Bastard.
you ruined it by making it into what it is today.
How
Even though you
dare you
probably
not
didn't,
make
but
it a colony anymore and make it its own independent thing that actually isn't really its own independent thing. It's still technically like a subdivision of Europe because it's very European as a
yeah.
country.
How dare
What,
he create a course that set things in motion through which Mark Zuckerberg would do what he did? That's on you, Georgie.
oh God.
Anyway, that political rant aside,
Moving along from
there is
politics.
well actually let's stick around for politics a little bit, because obviously, like you said, we both were surprised that there weren't any riots during inauguration, because there were a lot of riots in DC recently. The Capitol Hill
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
And you know this. Some of our viewers, if we have any, um,
I think
might
we
know
have
as
one.
well that um, one probably one of the most popular B-list Marvel superheroes, which is the Punisher,
Yeah.
has kind of caught a little bit of flack for it. There's a lot of people who are saying that he should be cancelled, and Marvel, I think, was even considering canceling him, not the TV show or anything, but well, the TV show is practically already cancelled, but more than anything, the
The
comic book lines
comics.
and everything, the character in general, he would not appear in any other comic book,
Yeah.
which is kind of a problem, if you ask me.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. If people are gonna have a problem with like, oh, there were these people I don't like, who wore symbols of this character going around Capitol Hill rioting, then my argument would be there were people who I didn't like going around doing shit wearing Captain Marvel stuff, so I want Captain Marvel to be cancelled.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. I'd happily cancel Captain Marvel. Um,
But yeah, I think
over
it,
Punisher anyway.
yeah, I think people just it borders on that continuous, argument of like, oh, people are, blaming film, television, video games, and comics that are all violent for the behavior of people. It's like, no, they have nothing to do with it. Like,
Not really, no.
people, if that's what you're basing this off of, like, oh, in recent history, it shows that, oh yeah, in recent history, then how about all the other, how about the rest of history that dates back thousands of years of people being violent and brutish and
Yeah,
downright shitty towards each other? We're just gonna forget all that? Oh no, but movies and video games and stuff didn't exist back then, so they can't be blamed. It's like,
yeah.
well,
No, because it's
right,
literature. It's literature.
yeah, it's literature.
Literature is art. Comic books are for kids, but we don't want
It's
our
like,
kids to read them. That
but
kind of
we
thing.
also want our kids to read them instead of, books because it's easier for them to digest comic books. It's like,
Yeah.
really? Fuck. Make up your goddamn minds. Uh,
See, next time that the American alt right, for some reason has a rally in London, um, I would probably go
sorry,
to
I have
it.
to ask, why would the American alt-right have a rally in London?
Because that's how shit works, man. Like, people from other countries for some reason are so concerned about the politics of another country that has nothing to do with theirs.
Yeah, fair.
And let's be honest, you know, everything that happens in the US is somehow a concern for anything around the world. So if there is an
Yeah.
alt-right rally in the in London, I'll go there with with a sign that says Kamala Harris approves guns. And then news coverage will come in and they'll go, "Oh, there's signs of Miss Marvel approving guns. Maybe she should be cancelled."
Oh, this is a genius sabotage move. If there's just a comic character that we don't like particularly, we can
Exactly.
literally just. It doesn't even have to be comic book character. Now, I'm pretty sure we could just be. Fuck, what was her name? God damn it! The person in charge of Lucasfilm,
Oh,
Catherine Kennedy.
Catherine Kennedy, yeah.
Yeah, we could just go there and say Catherine Kennedy hates gay people. And once
Yeah.
again,
or just or
she
just
can't. They'd have to fire her.
uh you know, we could
Wrong.
also just say like Kathleen
Wrong.
Kennedy sexually abused me prior to not giving me a role in her film.
Wrong.
That seems to work as well.
We're on to something here.
We're onto something. I think we can work this into a scheme.
Anything we don't like. This is just how we get rid of.
Because this is the thing, like I'm sure you've noticed as well. Like slightly moving on from Punisher as well, because that's kind of it. Cancel culture is like it was always kind of a thing, I think, on the internet, but now it's probably bigger than ever.
Oh yeah. Oh
Like
yeah.
people are going so far out of their way to like make someone look the worst if they don't really like them.
Yeah, and it's not even just like obviously people, as we've kind of discussed. It's other things like comic book characters,
Yeah.
because kind of on that strange note of like cancel culture, but it's going to the other side of things. So I'm not sure if you've seen it or paid any attention. There is a new comic book series that's just recently come out called The High Republic, which is about the Jedi Order thousands of years or hundreds of years, sorry, before the Phantom Menace.
I have not
And
seen anything about this. Please tell me more.
yeah, basically, it's just a comic book about the Jedi at the height of their power, and and it's sort of displaying how they're sort of coping with the galaxy and the Republic and dealing with the politics of things and stuff like that. Um, Yoda's in it. He's
Okay.
the only known character currently who has appeared in it because, well, it is set hundreds of years
Sure.
before Phantom Menace, so no one else is alive.
So he's a
And
young
it's
strapping lad.
yeah, pretty much. He still has a walking stick though, for whatever reason.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh,
but maybe he just thinks it makes him look cool, which to be fair, it kind of doesn't know how
Maybe
or
he has
why.
maybe he has a like an unknown injury that no one ever
He has
talks
a bad
about.
hip.
He has a bad
The
hip.
cold, yeah, the cold weather hurts his hip.
At the ripe old
But
age of 100 years old, he twisted it in a weird way.
sure, he's probably not 100. He's probably like close, maybe like because what he's 900 when he dies. I don't know, maybe he's like 500 or 600 when the series is starting,
Oh, okay.
something like that. Like middle age. But either way, going back to it. So I was watching this video of someone explaining it and how they don't like it. I thought, okay, it's like a review. And the very first thing this person does,
Hmm.
he explains like let me see if I can find it. Explains how he doesn't like the cover of the comic book because it's like, oh, it's dull, it's not like exciting or anything. I'm thinking this guy is literally judging a book series, a comic book series by its cover. In other
Yeah.
words, he's literally judging a book by its cover. And I thought, this is, and he was kind of making all these assumptions like how, it does the Catherine Kennedy thing of like, pushing an agenda and not really caring about the story and want to be entertaining and all this. And bear in mind, I thought, okay, fair. If these arguments were being made after he had gone through the comic saying, oh, I read the whole thing, I checked it, and it didn't, and then he felt all these things. He's explaining all this just from using the cover alone. He does go
Yeah.
into the rest of it, which fair enough. But there's a point where I'm like, you have started off this video pretty poorly, mate, because to judge it
By
by
its
its
cover.
cover. I know it's a comic book, so it is a visual medium, but at the same time, I'm thinking, mate, that's that's really not clever to be doing right now. Let's be honest.
No, it's not. It's not an altogether great idea. Usually.
Let me just see if I can find the cover because I didn't have a massive issue with it. If I'm honest, I thought, yeah,
Yeah.
sure, it's not
Would you call it the High
exciting.
Republic?
Yeah, the High Republic. Okay. I'll send an image to you over WhatsApp. It's a screenshot from my phone, but still doesn't show
That's
anything.
fine. I'm also looking it up real quick.
So
Um,
that's it's got three characters all holding lightsabers and a picture of a station beneath them, and that's it. I'm thinking, fair enough. It's. I mean, to be fair, not it is a comic book about Jedi being peaceful. It's not going to be exciting. It's not going to be an action-packed cover. It's not going to be awe-inspiring. It's going to be that.
yeah. Let me switch this so that the viewers can
Yeah,
see this.
good idea.
So I also have a massive fucking watermark on it because I don't wanna infringe anyone's copyright.
Fair enough.
Um,
Fair enough.
is it too much? I don't even
No,
know.
it's just enough.
Yeah.
It's just
So
enough.
you
But yeah,
yeah you can tell there's like there's a feeling kind of casting itself
of
upon it.
that's the thing. Like I look at that cover, and I won't lie. I think the guy was talking out of his ass when he was explaining. It's like to be fair, the channel that I watch it on, I don't mind him. I think he makes some valid points on occasion, but there's a lot where it's discussed some kind of like
Yeah.
yeah. There's a bit he goes into it like a bit too much just from the basis of the cover. So this is what I felt when I saw it.
Yeah.
It's the High Republic. It's about the Jedi at the height of their power, and it's showing three Jedi standing proudly wielding their lightsabers. I thought that
Yeah.
makes sense.
And the immediate
They're
thought that some people will get is, "Where the white men at?
yeah,
What's going
uh,
on? Star Wars is a
yeah,
white man thing."
yeah. That's very much kind of the thing I felt like from him, and the fact that this black woman also has like an undercut. I think it's what it's called. I think that's right, right?
Yeah,
A
it's
hairstyle.
I don't know. It's a
Like
bit like
if
a curl. I will
yeah,
say, I want to know what this guy's story is.
the one on the
Assuming that he's a guy, the Trandoshan, yeah. I
yeah,
want
he
to know
is.
what
He is.
his story is
Uh,
because
I mean, I
he's the only one that like has a blue lightsaber, and I'm like, well,
look.
there's something
Blue.
here.
Look, the only person who's allowed to have a green lightsaber is Luke Skywalker and Yoda, okay? And Qui-Gon Jinn. And
Yeah,
about the three others that have them.
and that one time when Anakin had it, and that's about it.
So in other words, it's okay for Jedi to have green lightsabers. Okay,
Yeah.
get over your color prejudice. Wrong. But I will say
Well, as long as they're not purple. Yeah, you
I
read
have
it.
read it.
Okay.
And I
What do you
won't lie,
think?
it is slow. It is very
Fine.
slow. But at the same time, it is the first issue of a comic book about the Jedi when they're at their strongest. And I
Mm,
won't lie, when I heard about the High Republic, I thought, okay, interesting title, but I'll wait till they reveal more. And they're like, this is about the Jedi when they're at the height of their power. I'm like, but that will be boring because there's nothing to challenge them if they're at the height of their power, and there won't be any Sith because we all know the Sith show up during the
of
Phantom
course.
Menace. So what are they going to be fighting that's so scary and threatens them? To be fair, once again, it is only issue one, and I will give it at least 10 issues before I think, okay, I need to give up because I will hope
Yeah.
that in 10 issues they will have gone through the first arc and revealed the first villain. And if the villain's interesting enough, I think, okay, the series deserves a chance. Because let's be honest, the series is only ever, especially in comic books, is only ever as compelling as its villain.
This is true.
But it's one of those things where I thought the when they described it, it was very much that I don't think Lucasfilm or Disney or whoever's decision this was particularly smart about it because this sort of story
This
would
would be
not be.
Marvel, I think.
Yeah, I think it's Marvel, and to be honest, I look at it and I think this doesn't sound particularly interesting. But
Yeah.
who knows? I could be wrong, but I will give it a chance. But it's one of those things where it's like you showing the good guys where when they're at their strongest, and there's very little that can challenge them is never really interesting. You
Yeah.
always want to give them something to overcome. So I will be interested to see what they give them. That once again, theoretically, cannot be the Sith because the Sith do not
Well,
show
here's
up
the thing.
within Yoda's life.
You say that, right? But we do enjoy a lot of really fucking powerful people
Yeah,
that are usually able to crush their enemies without too much effort.
yeah. I mean, I guess, but and I guess that goes into the whole Luke Skywalker showing up at the end of I don't know if we can really talk about it because one of the people who, well,
One
she was
particular
watching.
viewer.
One of our particular viewers, our only
Yeah.
viewer who was watching, I'm not sure if she still is now, hasn't seen The Mandalorian yet, so I can't really go
Yeah,
into
but
it.
by explaining this whole thing, you've essentially spoiled it.
I've spoiled that Luke Skywalker shows up, to which you'll probably go, who? And yeah, because she's not a big Star Wars fan, so I doubt she even really cares who Luke Skywalker is. It's more I don't want to spoil the ending.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
Fair enough.
I guess I guess actually this is one I can kind of use as an example. When Darth Vader did the whole scene in Rogue One where he basically just fucking tore apart all those rebels and just annihilated them. It's like
Of course, that's a very
showing.
different scene.
Yeah, it is a fairly different scene.
Yep.
But it's one of those things where it's like showing off how powerful people are is great fanfaring, which is
Oh,
fine. But at the same time, there still needs to be a plot.
yeah, but it's different though. Let's start with the fact that Darth Vader is actually the villain of the film,
Yeah, I guess.
and they're trying to escape. And they're like, "Oh shit, are they gonna escape?" I mean, we all know that they're going to escape because
Yeah, we all know they got away.
I mean, they don't really, but for the moment that it happens,
They don't all get away, but the plans get away, which is the thing that mattered in the end.
yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
That's all we care about. Everyone
Yeah.
else can die.
Yeah,
Who cares?
I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. If they're making this series, I think then therefore the only person they could really do fanfaring for to show off how powerful this person was would be Yoda. And I think fair enough. We've already gotten a real display of how powerful Yoda is, though.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Does he really need more?
Yes. Because he is probably one of their most popular characters.
True, but I'm always kind of thinking that in a universe as big as Star Wars is, and as with history and lore as rich as Star Wars has, surely you can kind of afford to make up some new characters and show off how cool they are.
Yeah, but at the same time, if this is during a time where Yoda would have been around, it'd be very unrealistic and a bit weird not to have him in it. Not as a main
Oh, of
character,
course.
I agree with that. But
Yeah,
like as a recurring character, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So that's fine. I think from what I've gathered, that's kind of what they're going for. He's
Yeah,
also not the Grand Master
of
in the High
course,
Republic.
of course.
He does appear to be a master already and on the council, but that's it.
Did he drink the milk?
I don't know. I think he probably drank the milk.
Did he take a
God,
sip?
God damn it!
I'm
I
sorry.
hate that I've seen it now. I just
I'm sorry. For
like
context,
I appreciate it, but at the same time, part of me thinks, what?
for
Oh,
context, there's this video that keeps popping up on my YouTube recommended, called "Lactose Intolerant Anakin," and it's literally just a re-edit of like the end of, or well, no, the somewhere in the midpoint of like Revenge of the Sith, where they tell Anakin where he's like not awarded the rank of master. They tell him that he is awarded the rank of master, and then they ask him to take a sip of milk, and because he doesn't, they retract their offer.
Well, that's the thing. Like when I actually watched it, I was like, wait, they didn't offer it though. They just made him a master, so they're basically tanking the rank away. They're not redacting the offer.
I
They
know.
already gave it to him.
I know.
They were like, you must become a master, but you first must drink the milk. But they didn't do it that way. They did it the wrong way. They were like, you are now a master. Now drink the milk. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And the thing
It's
is, I think about
so
it,
good.
Luke drinks milk all the fucking time. He drank the blue milk in A New Hope, and then he drank the milk in The Last Jedi. He drinks milk all the fucking time.
It's gotta
It,
drink that blue milk.
so he clearly likes milk. The only thing now that would really piss off his dad if he likes sand as well, which I think he may do.
He might just do. I've got the video
Oh,
up.
oh no.
I
Are
just
you really?
I just want to share the beauty of it with all of our loyal viewers.
Oh, we have two extra viewers.
There's subtitles
You're
as
on
well.
this council. We grant you the
I
rank.
don't know if we got milk.
I understand.
Video
Take a
definitely
sip.
has.
Young Skywalker.
There we go.
What?
Anakin's
It is
got
critical that you take a sip.
He's right. How can you do this?
I like the way he
This is
puts
outrageous.
it. It's
Dude.
critical.
I just love. Do you know what? I love that
We do not
Obi-Wan
have any to
is
spare.
like, you know, he finds this completely normal and doesn't choose a fucking side.
Take a sip immediately.
I'm
What
not
about me?
doing this.
Your Schreiber, take a sip immediately.
I
I'm not
will
doing
have a
this.
sip. It's settled then. Yoda will take a sip.
It's so badly edited in a way.
We do not grant.
But I
you
like the
rank
fact that
request.
as well, like in the process of this still not
This
making
is
sense to me,
unfair.
is the fact that when Yoda says I will take the sip, it's like he's saying, oh, I will take the sip on his behalf so he can become master. But it's like, no, he just takes a sip anyway.
No, he's
There's
just thirsty. He's just
no reason
thirsty.
He's
for it.
right.
He just wants to drink. Okay, yeah, no, that ending does fuck me up every time. Uh,
Uh,
there you go. I think that was important. If
on,
if you
honestly,
sorry.
honestly surprised Anakin didn't like have a Karen moment where it's like, look, I'm gonna complain to your manager. I'm lactose intolerant. This is discrimination. Which you can kind of argue it is. He's lactose intolerant. He shouldn't be
It
made to
is.
drink them.
Also, if anyone wants to see more videos like this, it's a channel called Content that makes you feel content. And it's just it's not just Star Wars stuff. It's predominantly Star Wars stuff, but there's other stuff there as well. This guy's wild.
He's a madman, I tell you. A madman.
He's a madman.
Wild man. What, fuck, that's from something as well. God damn it.
A wild man?
Oh yeah, it's from the Hurt Locker, where he's like, "How many bombs have you defused?" 367, sir, or however much. He's like, 367. Wild man. You're a wild man. God, I love that film. That's such a random scene as well. It feels like that should be like from a really shit film, but it's in such a good film, and you're like, well.
Well, to be
But-
fair, it is an action film, and action films lend themselves to like
But-
these kind of one-liners.
Is it really an action film? I would agree if someone said, "Oh, it's a war film," but I don't feel it's an action film because, yes, there's a few action scenes in it, but it's more about the PTSD of being a soldier and dealing with the fact that you're defusing fucking bombs for a living, which could literally be anywhere.
Sure.
But anyway, yeah, I do love that film though.
Hmm. Who's got a topic?
Yeah. Anyone? Come on.
Come on.
God damn it! Swear to fucking God.
I've got a topic if we don't get one.
I
so-
had one recently. I can't remember what it was though. Second one.
So, do you like Batman comics?
I don't mind them. I don't
Okay.
mind them. I
How much
read
would you
them.
realistically pay for like a single issue?
That is a good question. How much are they right now, actually?
Oh, I don't know. They're like one something probably.
I will check on the DC app.
Okay.
But as the, 'cause I can't.
Let's say a current one, right? How much would you pay for a current one? Like if you had to like make an offer.
Current one, I would say current issue, what, 20 pages?
Something like that, yeah.
Anywhere, I would say I'd be willing to pay anywhere between maybe. Anywhere between £3 to £5.
Anywhere between £3 to £5. I see comments saying that they should be free, so people could use them as toilet paper.
For the Batman comics?
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
just look it up for Batman comics.
Okay. So you said how much did you say?
I said between £3 to £5.
Okay, that's mildly reasonable. I personally think that's a bit much, but I think that is pretty much what they go for in W.H.
Yeah,
Smith.
most comic books actually go
Yeah.
anywhere between $3.99 to about $5.99.
Okay, now what about a classic, like 1940s Batman in mint condition? How much would you pay for that?
So this is the physical copy. I would say if it's a physical copy,
Yeah.
I
But like now, I'm not talking about the current one. I'm talking about like the 90, like
yeah.
let's say I don't know, Batman #1 from like 1940 something, which is the first appearance of Catwoman and Joker.
I would. Oh, I could not place a figure on that. I would know it would be fucking expensive. But
Okay,
personally,
can
if it were me and how much
ballpark
I
it.
would be
Ballpark
willing
it.
to spend. Okay, but I'll start off with
Yeah,
how much
what?
I'd be willing to spend, and then how much I think it would actually be. So
Okay.
I'd be willing to spend for a mint condition 1940s comic with the first appearance of Catwoman and Joker.
Yep.
I would say because it is first, it is probably like a first edition kind of thing
Mm-hmm.
in condition. I would say maybe 40, 50 pounds.
40 to
Simply
50 pounds.
Yeah,
Okay.
because knowing how rare that would be as well in mint condition, that would have some value to it.
Okay. Now, how much do you think it's worth?
I suspect it would be worth a few. I would think most people would think a few hundred or probably roughly 40 to 50 pounds actually, because they would just assume that's how much it would cost. But knowing me and collectors, I would say that's probably worth a few £1,000s. So I'm going to say maybe £3,000.
Okay, I'm going to blow your mind.
It's worth like £1, isn't it?
So, Heritage Auctions just closed on what The Hollywood Reporter describes as a near mint issue of Batman #1 from 1940, which sold earlier today. This was an article from a week ago.
Yeah.
For over $2.2 million US.
God,
Yeah.
I knew it would be expensive, but I generally was thinking like a few £1,000.
2.2 million, right?
That's still well over £1 million.
You can buy a very nice apartment in New York for that
In
kind of
London,
money. In
almost
London as well.
any fucking city.
Central
you could buy.
London. Like, you could buy a fucking, like, penthouse apartment in Knightsbridge for that kind of money.
I mean,
And you spent it on a comic book.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ. Because here's the thing, I know immediately people would be like, oh yeah, something like that, probably 40, 50 quid. It's like, oh no. You forget this is a collectible. This is a collector's item.
It is a collector's item. It is in near mint condition.
Why do I now get the meme of like I was elected to lead, not to read? Because let's be honest, the guy ain't reading the fucking comic book. He's gonna put it in like a fucking podium behind glass with security and shit.
Absolutely. Because this is the most expensive comic because of it.
Yeah.
Previously, there was like a Detective Comics for like 1.5 million or something like that. Like, this kind of thing. And so basically, what it also goes to say, according to the trade, this specific issue was previously owned by a collector named Billy T. Gates, who bought it in 1979 for the price of $3,000. So,
Wait,
Billy T. Gates.
As in,
What's
as
Bill
in Bill
Gates' middle name? What's Bill Gates' middle name? I need to know right now.
I'm fucking googling it.
Do you know what? Let's find out together. Bill Gates. I can't actually read from here because the resolution of my screen is higher than the other screen. So you're gonna have to tell me.
All right. So as it turns out, Bill Gates' full name is William Henry Gates III. So it is not Bill Gates who bought the thing.
It's not Bill Gates. Wait, there's a Bill Gates Senior.
Oh fuck.
He's the third. Wait,
yeah,
wait. His father is senior, but he's the third. Where's Junior? What wrong thing? Wait. Let me zoom in. Okay, so Bill Gates Senior is William Henry Gates II.
Yeah.
So his father is the true senior.
Yeah.
But they're all William Henry. So
yeah. Jesus Christ, be fucking creative with your goddamn naming of your children. It's a boy. What will you name it? Actually, because Bill Gates has kids. Name.
Oh, he does actually.
He does.
That's a good point.
Thankfully, the one boy is not named William Henry Gates the fourth. I think that would be
also
too
known as
cool.
Bill Gates Jr.
His name is Rory John Gates.
Rory John.
Yeah,
So still no Billy T.
he is
Billy
21.
T is not my son.
But
Billy
yeah,
T Gates,
so
what a name. Anyway,
going back to the comic book, it was not Bill Gates
it wasn't
who
Bill
was
Gates, no. That would have been fucking
Which-
cool, but no.
Holy shit, could you imagine if you're the guy who buys this comic book and you were literally telling all your friends, oh, I bought this Batman comic for 2.2 or 2.1, however, $1 billion. Like, why? It's like, oh, not only is it the first edition where, Catwoman and Joker both show up,
Yeah.
it was supposed to be by Bill Gates. And like, really? Yeah, it was Bill
Seriously.
T. Gates. And then they're all like, really? And they all Google
Yeah.
it. It's like, mate, Bill Gates didn't own the fucking comic book. It's like, no!
No, I've been ripped off.
I bought it solely for that reason.
I should have known.
I really hope that's what the person did, and someone's had to break it to him. Bill Gates never owned
That's not him.
Oh my god.
No wonder he didn't throw in a free laptop. I mean, for that price, one might expect.
This guy's just got scammed as well.
Seriously,
I mean,
how would you spend $2.2 million?
me? I don't think I could spend $2.2 million. At least it was on a flat or a house. Like
Yeah.
I generally can't think of anything I'd be able to spend that much money on that quickly.
I mean, Bitcoin, probably.
Fucking Bitcoin.
Because it's just nice to own one. You know?
But now you can own 2.2 million of them.
Exactly. I don't even know if there's that much Bitcoin to go around. So you might be able to just own all the Bitcoin.
You make your first million and someone's like, what did you do with it? I invested it in what? Bitcoin. Okay, how much did you invest in the Bitcoin? No, I literally invested all
No,
million of my
yeah.
dollars.
Bitcoin
They're
is
like, "Why?"
mine now. It's all mine.
I own Bitcoin.
The problem is, if you own all the Bitcoins and someone else finds other Bitcoins that aren't yours, your Bitcoin will lose value.
Oh god. You
So it's a shit investment.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that always boggles my mind. If you are the sole owner of Bitcoin, like let's say there's 5 million Bitcoins and you own all of it. Someone's like, oh, because he owns 5 million Bitcoins, they're all worth 10 million now. It's like, why? Why wouldn't they be? Only one person owns it. It's like, yeah. Why would I
I mean, that
want
makes
something?
sense. But that means that I have to buy all of them and then
But
pretty much like the day after sell all of them. Because
That's
otherwise it's
yeah,
pointless.
That's the thing. You're buying it solely hoping that people will buy it. Because if no one does, you literally made an investment in something no
Yeah.
one wants. That's worth millions. And people are like, oh, we don't want it. And you're like, but please, I spend so much on it. Can't you just buy one? It's like, no, I don't want it. But then the value is pointless. Exactly. You spend money for nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
that's such a fucking gamble to me, just to spend that amount of money on something people may not even just give a shit about.
Well, yeah.
Anyway.
Well, there's a thing to do with that, which is quite funny. Have you? There's an interesting Bitcoin story. Have you ever heard of the story where a guy bought a pizza using Bitcoin?
No, I've never heard. What? That's
Okay.
a thing?
So, if you pay attention to the screen now, uh, May 22nd, 2018 marks the 8-year anniversary of the first Bitcoin transaction in which a Florida man, always a Florida man, paid for 2 pizzas with the cryptocurrency. The day has become part of folklore, not because of the transaction, but more the price. The man in question paid 10,000 Bitcoins, which today is worth over 80 million US dollars for the 2 pizzas.
Holy
That's what you're
shit.
spending $2.2 million on.
Wow. Okay. First and foremost, is that actually a thing though? Can you still spend Bitcoin on just random mundane things? Or not really?
I don't know if you can do that anymore. It was definitely a thing at some point. Like Bitcoin was an accepted currency, but I don't know if you can do that now because now it's a big ass currency. Because like one Bitcoin now, I don't know how much it is right now, but like at the beginning of the year, it was worth like $30,000 for one Bitcoin, something like that. So I don't know if it's still an acceptable value. He says as well, like, I'll pay 10,000 Bitcoins for a couple of pizzas, like maybe 2 large ones, so I have some left over for the next day. Or,
Okay,
or you can just save the money.
so just random thing because
Yeah.
I googled it because I was curious. One Bitcoin is worth £25,673 and 25 pence.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I mean, goddamn.
It shot up as well. This is why we were at some point told by a friend of ours to like invest in it, is because
Like that's
that's
okay,
only
you
been like that.
can't afford it.
No, well, no, but like you can invest in it, which means that you can invest in like the development of Bitcoin in a way. The reason why he said that is because towards the start of September-ish, it was literally worth $14,000 or something.
Yeah,
So over the span of a month, it literally doubled.
like because
But
here's the thing.
that was a fluke.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Because a Bitcoin is worth that much, once again, it falls into the thing of like you can't realistically spend it. Not on
No.
like, and therefore, like my train of thought is like, okay, you have a Bitcoin, you have bought one Bitcoin, it is worth that amount of money. Who the fuck takes Bitcoin? Who the fuck takes it? And you're like, I don't know.
Oh, okay,
So
so
you have this money that you cannot spend.
no, so okay, so it's slightly different than what I imagined according to this article. He paid someone to get him a pizza, right? And the way he talks about it is so sad as well. Like, I like having leftover pizza to nibble on later. You can make the pizza yourself and bring it to my house or order it from me for delivery place. But what I'm aiming for is getting food delivered in exchange for Bitcoins, where I don't have to order or prepare it myself. Kind of like ordering a breakfast. This is what I think the guy said. And then a British man took up this guy's offer and brought the 2 pizzas for him in exchange for 10,000 Bitcoins. Even then, the recipient of the Bitcoins got himself a bargain, paying $25 for the pizzas, while 10,000 Bitcoin were worth around $41 at the time. So at the time, like, I mean, the guy still overpaid even then, right? Why would you pay $40 for something that's worth 25?
Jesus
But
Christ.
this guy, whoever this British man was, is an absolute genius. He played him like a damn fiddle.
Oh my god, what is wrong with
Yeah.
like when cryptocurrency was a thing? I actually thought it was like a pretty good idea. I was like, oh yeah, it can become a universal currency, like like credits from Star Wars. Everyone has them. Like it will slowly start phasing out things like pounds and dollars and all that kind of shit. It's like no, though now it can't because of massive inflation.
Yeah, but even then, it was like Bitcoin was not something that you just invest in because it was
Yeah,
so shaky. Like
yeah.
how would anyone have known that Bitcoin would be worth as much as it is right now?
Man, I feel like such a sucker for not investing in
Oh,
Bitcoin now. Really.
same here, but like not a sucker for not investing 2 weeks ago, but all
Yeah,
those tens of years ago, like well,
yeah.
10 years ago.
Could you imagine if you just had like you bought 5 Bitcoin back then for like however much, and then now that you just look at it and you're like,
You're a
holy,
millionaire. You'd
you're a
be.
fucking yeah. You literally just sell it all, and you're a millionaire, and you can live comfortably for the rest of your life.
It's like that fucking scene from Futurama, where he like goes to the bank and he was like, I think I had like
Yeah,
63 pennies or something like that, and they were like, yeah, that's like $4 million now.
yeah. It was even dumber than that. It was like 100 like it was a stupid crazy
It's
amount of money when
literally
you look
the
at
same
it.
thing. Imagine if Fry invested in Bitcoin. I mean, he couldn't have done
Well,
because
to be fair, Bitcoin may not have been around in the year 3000. Who knows?
that is also true.
To be fair though, but like he has American currency. How would that? I mean, to be fair, actually, yeah, Bitcoin would still be worth something with the logic of Futurama.
Not a huge amount
Because
though. I don't think it would be worth that
no,
much.
I think it could be though, because once again, he had American money which he traded into a futuristic world, which is no longer, nations and borders. It's literally planets. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, it's millions of this new currency, and so like they clearly have a system where you could take old money, trade it in for new money.
Yeah. I'm not too sure actually.
Actually, no, it was weird because it wasn't the money he had on him; it was the change he had in his bank account.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So if you, I'm now very tempted to freeze myself, wake up in the year 3000, and see what I have in the bank is
Yeah.
worth.
Take whatever you had in the bank and then find a way to like travel back in time.
Actually, that's also true because even if you had like just like a £10 note, if you went back like 100 years, that would be worth a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Like wow.
Well,
Yeah.
this was the thing in have you ever played Animal Crossing?
A little bit, way ways ago.
Yeah,
Very long
okay.
time.
So basically, in Animal Crossing, there was this little cheat that you could do to get a lot of money. Because I believe, I don't remember if I don't know if I'm saying this right. I don't know if I remember it correctly. So by all means, correct me if I'm wrong. But I think you were able to plant money trees by basically just taking a bag of money and then burying it and then leaving it for a while. So what people would do is they would bury a bag of money and then change the system date to be in the future. And then they go back into the game. The bag is now a tree. They would shake off all that money, bury stuff again, go further into the future, and then go all the way back again. Because obviously at some point you need to fix your system clock. And now you have all this money. It's foolproof.
Two things.
Okay.
One, the fact that someone one day just decided to do this for no reason is just bizarre. But to be fair, it is the modern day.
That goes
where,
for everything, to be honest with you.
that goes for everything. Secondly, to go through all that effort, changing the dates, changing it back, planting the seed, planting the money, then doing all that shit, you have to have very little social life or any kind of life.
I mean, it's Animal
It's like
Crossing.
you're just talking to someone's like, oh, what did you do today? Oh, I made millions of dollars on Animal Crossing. Doing what? And you explain to them, it's like, man, that's just pathetic. And you're like, yeah, but it's Animal Crossing. The person's like, that's not reasoning. That's just
No, it's not reasoning at all.
nothing to do.
I will say, I frequently think about the first person to ever do something. Right? Like all the things that we take for granted, all the foods that we take for granted. At some point,
Yeah.
there was someone who thought to themselves, this is a great idea. I'm going to
Yeah.
try this now.
Someone invented chocolate. Like that's
Someone
the thing.
invented chocolate. Like, how do you come up with that?
Yeah, like you're like, oh, this, I'm gonna take this bean, this cocoa bean.
I can
because
make it
think
into
could be
powder.
into like powder, and then maybe a paste, and then maybe make it like maybe freeze it, make it into like a bar, and then eat it. And
Yeah.
just
Ooh,
the random
that's
thought-
bitter. But hey, I can combine it with this milk that my neighbor
will-
has found out is a thing. Like,
Because my
how'd you come up with the idea of like, who
you
discovered
just-
milk?
you're inside one day cleaning the dishes. You look out the window, you see a cow, you see its udders, and you're like, you know that thing that my kids do with my wife's breasts? I wonder if I could do that with
I was gonna do that real quick because my wife doesn't particularly let me anymore. And you just squeeze out the milk from the cow and you go like, huh, can I drink this? Surely this is for cows, but alright, here, bottoms up.
A random person's thought process where he thought, I used to drink milk from my mom when I was a kid or a baby. I could still get milk. But because my mom can't make milk anymore, I wonder if I can get
Maybe I gotta suckle some cow teats.
maybe the person started with I want milk, but my mom can't make it, so you're asking his neighbors, hey, can I get some of your milk?
And then several generations later, someone must have thought like, this cow's milk is decent, but I wonder what other animals we can milk. It's
Oh,
that kind of thing. Like, how do you come up with it? And at some point, it's like, oh, the cow's died. Can I
can I
can I
harvest its meat?
can I eat its flesh? I don't know. It sounds a bit wild, but yeah,
Oh,
because nothing. Oh, salmonella. And then the son was like, oh no, my dad died because he ate raw meat. But what if I cook this?
just like a random process of shit for people to come up with.
Well,
Oh
yeah.
god.
And then they go, oh, do you know what? The outside of the cow, like once you've retrieved the flesh, that will make some fine clothes. I'm gonna wear this, and all my friends are gonna think I'm cool.
First caveman walking down the street wearing some goddamn Gucci
Yeah.
cow leather. All the women go, ooh, I wonder where
Yeah.
he got that.
Where'd you get that? I just fucking ripped that off that there cow.
Oh shit, could you imagine if like the first day actually someone made like leather from a cow was because he forgot his wife's the anniversary of when him and his wife got married. He's like, butcher my fucking cow and give her this as a grand romantic gesture and an apology for forgetting the anniversary.
Oh yeah,
That's somehow it works. And she's like,
so it
oh, I like
works.
it. Oh wow. Just bullshit my way through that. She liked it.
Like there's also
Um,
like other things as well. Like who decided? I mean, this I will say is probably more of an instinctual thing. Who the fuck decided it's a good idea to like walk up to a fucking tree and it's got like, there's like an appendage to it. Can I eat this? And he just fucking ate a banana or something like that, and it's like, huh, I guess food really does grow on trees.
Here's the logical thing. After like eating a banana, they would try things from other trees. So they would try an apple, they try an orange, then they
Yeah.
try an acorn, and they would not be able to eat the acorn. It would break their teeth. Like, nah, acorn bad.
Yeah.
And throw that away.
And then they try like a coconut or a pineapple, and they're like, I can't eat it. Oh, the good stuff is on the inside.
Actually, yeah, it's like,
Let me
oh,
just
this man.
fucking crack it open,
No,
like
because of the
like a watermelon.
guy like tries to eat it, and it's like, oh man, this thing sucks. It's spiky and it hurts me. And he throws it, and it hits a tree and breaks open. And this random guy walking by sees him do this. He's like, holy shit, I could take credit for this. For this guy
Yeah,
as a land.
literally.
Also, can we just discuss like on the weird topic of like who decided Bitcoin was actually going to be worth so much? Who decided
Okay.
gold would be valuable? Like someone was just digging in
Someone
the middle
decided
and
that.
found this shiny gold object. He's like, this is probably worth something. I will
Yeah.
trade this for like 8 cows. And then in the end, logically, because cows have practical use, he actually got the better end of the deal for it.
Well,
But now
yeah.
these days, trading like a simple gold ring for like 20 cows, and then all of a sudden the person trading the cows once again. Like
Yeah.
if you're doing that, you're making a loss. But back then, that would have been like, oh wow,
Well, yeah,
that's
but
a good deal.
back then as well, it's like, hey, I'd like to buy some of your ox with this gold. Is it salt? No. Then it's not a currency. Get the fuck out of here. And at some point they were
Yeah.
like, actually, that gold,
Yeah.
it's rather nice.
You know what? Because I'd like to imagine just the most random like people like going through the history and imagining all this like deep complicated shit. Like, nah, mate, it was probably very simple. Like the person was like, I will trade this gold for those 8 cows, and he's like, no, I wouldn't do that. I can eat my cows. It's like, all right, whatever. Walks away. The guy with the cow once again forgetting his wife anniversary. He's like, shit, I need to make this up to her. And then one day she just like points out the guy who dug out the gold and that guy's wife, and is like, look at her, she's traded all those cool things. I want those
Yeah.
things. And he's like, I will trade you 3 cows for some gold. He's like, deal.
Deal.
Please, like, I like to imagine this how most random shit that logically should not make sense. Just they came
None
up
of
with.
it does. Like again, also like when you think about technology, someone had all of these ideas at some point. How did they
Someone
even like? Where did some half of it, like any electronics whatsoever? How did they even come up with the concept?
someone just looked up at the sky, saw lightning, and was like, that could be used to power stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how? Like, it lights shit on fire and kills people. How did you make the distinction that could somehow power something and then go, I can make it smaller and contain it? God damn. I guess that's why. I guess
Yeah.
this though is why we're not scientists or inventors.
No, but it makes you think, like, because the current meme is that human beings are stupid, but when you think about all the things that we've actually done and like the pioneering first steps that we've made, there's
Yeah.
like, because again, like, this is a different thing because obviously, like, at that point space travel was like, a kind of an inevitability, but people did at some point look up to the sky and they were like, I wonder if I can go there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they built a fucking rocket.
And
then they went there.
They went crazy and went to space, and everyone's like, "Why would you do that? There's no air in space."
Because we want. And then they landed on the moon. They were like, "Okay, now what? I don't know.
Next is
Let's go home."
Let's go home and go to the next planet over. Like, sure, why not?
I mean, we haven't quite done that yet, but yeah.
Sure, I'd like to imagine like just the random, because like that's the thing. There's always trial and error. You always do something.
Yeah.
I'd like to imagine like just the random, because you briefly touched upon it, like someone decided to eat raw chicken and that killed them. Like, what if I cooked it? To be fair, it obviously I hope it never happened, but someone was like, there's probably no air in space. But what if someone's like, there's probably air in space. There's air down here.
I mean, what is air even? Well, if you don't have a concept of what air is,
with no oxygen anytime.
Like, if you don't have a concept of what air is, you don't even think about these things. You're like, oh yeah, I'm in space. Take off helmet. I can't breathe. And then somehow people on Earth know, like, oh, that's how he died. Oh, we should probably not do that ourselves.
Because, like, just once again, just to imagine, like, there was a brief point in history where someone was like, I wonder what's on the inside of people, but no one would like me just killing someone and cutting them open. So I'm going to cut open a pig.
Yeah.
And just assume that's ground zero. That's what all humans are like. We're like pigs. Well, and then somehow, miraculously, he got most of it right still.
Let me look something up.
Because I think the first dissection to ascertain what the human anatomy was like was done on a pig. I remember that, I think, from history class at one point. And so just decided, why not a pig? And went with a pig.
Yeah. Well,
to be fair, they haven't discovered monkeys, I think, at that point. Or they were an exotic animal not found in Europe, so couldn't just cut open a monkey.
Here's a question. Do you know who Anthony van Leeuwenhoek is?
I think I may have heard of the name, but no.
So he is a biologist. He was rather about 300-ish years ago. Actually, he died about 300 years ago, so probably a little bit more than that. He wasn't the inventor of microscopes, but he was the one who very much improved them. Like he made a very improved microscope, and he was probably the first one to make a microscope that worked so well that you can actually see germs, like microbiology and stuff like that. And so at that point, as far as the stories go, he fucking lost it. Like, anything that he could potentially come up with to inspect, he put under the lens, including, but not limited to, well, according to this Wikipedia page, which can probably explain it a lot better than I do, even though they don't end on the punchline, but I'll end up on the punchline. Bacteria, right? Red blood cells, crystals in gouty toffle, blood flow in capillaries, and spermatozoa. That's right. He ejaculated on a little glass plate and then inspected it in a microscope. He had the idea where he was like, I wonder what's in my semen.
To come on a piece of glass and put that under a microscope.
And the entire time that he was wanking off to get it done, he was thinking to himself, for science, for science, for science.
Or, like, because it's one of two things. Either he was doing that, like, for science, or he's like,
This is the perfect,
hell
by the way.
Yeah, get in there! I will give you a good fucking. And then I will come on. And she's like, okay. She just came. and they got it on.
And she goes, yes, yes, come inside me. And he goes, no, no, on the plate. I must come on the plate. And she goes,
Therefore,
what?
Just imagine, not only did this guy improve the microscope, he then invented the pull-out. I mean, that's probably not true. I like to imagine that. Like, I make up weird situations in my head where it's like, I like to remember how it went. It's probably not. That is the story I'll tell people. It's like, do you know any fascinating like trivia? I'll be like, step
Well.
aside.
Well, I know about this Dutch guy. Yeah.
And they'll be like, wow, is that true? And I'll be like, yes, of course it's true. Meanwhile, me knowing it's completely not true. But I sound like someone who's smart. God, our two other viewers, because I won't lie, one of them is me.
Yeah.
Must find the most bizarre bullshit they've ever.
Well, yeah.
Oh God.
Okay. Well, should we finish it off with something a little bit more regular, like a little bit less kind of weird and wacky like that?
A little less weirdly sexual and pervy.
I mean, this could go either way, but we always keep the options open.
Oh God, sorry, my stomach hurts.
Yeah, no, I do. I'm gonna have to clip all of this, and I really don't want to draw shit as well. Hey, what's Dushan up to these days?
Oh no! If we do an animated version, we have to do an animated version by plowing his wife and then pulling out, and then
How would you even visualize that without getting banned on YouTube?
you can't. We'll have to put a link in the Pornhub telling people to go.
Yeah. All right. Let's shift gears a little bit to something less
Right.
outrageous. So,
Fuck.
I think the last topic of the day that we will go through is it's more of an interactive bit, really. More of a yeah. So basically,
Oh,
you and I, we like Dungeons and Dragons.
yeah.
And one of the things that is very key to Dungeons and Dragons is your alignment. It's generally the one you choose, but at times it's more important to think about how you behave should you choose a particular alignment. And obviously for characters, this is a little bit easier because they're often caricatures in some way. Like I think I myself have maybe one morally ambiguous character, and everyone else is quite clear cut.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, what's our alignments? So I've asked you to find an alignment test, which we will do right now.
And if you give me a second, I will post it in the comments in the YouTube section.
Yes, you can do it yourself as well at home. It's safe enough.
We swear, God, it's not a link to what we were just talking about.
No. We're not.
All right, so here we go. Are you ready? We'll just click yes on that one to start with.
Yeah.
All right. So first one, as you can see, fair warning tests.
Yeah.
Gives
So
fairly equal amounts of goods and evils.
yeah, I
Are
don't know
you
what that
ready?
means. So we'll just go into it.
You
Before we
just-
begin,
you're ready to.
let's do
test.
you first.
Yep.
Where do you think you're going to end up?
I think I will hopefully end up as neutral good, but probably more chaotic neutral.
Okay, so chaotic neutral or neutral good.
Yeah.
Okay, if you say so. Here we go.
All right. So we're doing me first, right?
Which scenario is the worst? Dramatic, depressing, or boring?
I will say depressing.
Yeah. You'd rather have something be dramatic or boring than depressing?
I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna say boring because even if it's depressing, at least you're feeling something. Whereas
Okay.
boredom can be just so fucking grim.
So you need to feel something.
Yeah.
Okay, boring it is. As far as planning goes, do you prefer often or usually making a plan, avoiding a set one, or purposefully not making a plan sometimes, or do you not have an inclination towards either? Neutral. Okay, yeah. Okay, go on.
That's the thing. I do sometimes make plans, but there are times where often enough I just go, let's just see how we feel. So I am very much that guy who goes with either one.
So you're neutral.
Yeah.
Okay, we're heading towards that direction now. If you could cause one of these to manifest instantly, which one would you pick? Less or no global violence, a better system of authority and power, or get 200 US dollars or equivalent in other currency. This is a good test.
This is fucking Jesus, actually. I am going to go with a better system of authority and power because I would like to imagine that it will lead to both less violence and also me getting a higher paycheck, therefore an extra £200.
Well, to be fair, it doesn't actually say that you are in charge of the system of authority and power.
Yeah.
It's just you wishing for a better one.
Yeah.
Okay. If someone definitely scummy hurt you or wrecked your property in front of you or piss you off, would you likely not let them get away with it? Follow them, fight them until they pay back? Would you get upset and not do much? Would you not know what to do, so you just let it go, but avoid that situation from now on? Or do you call someone or yell for someone to help?
I absolutely know it would be get upset and not do much.
Yeah, you're not much of an active participant in conflict. Regarding sleep, would you rather stay up late, wake up early, both of the first two, or neither of the first two?
Jesus. Because I do stay up late, but
Yeah.
often enough it's not because I choose. I do wake up early sometimes, but once again, it's sometimes, and sometimes I don't want to. I would say, I'm going to pick stay up late though, because I do often stay up later,
Okay, fair
and
enough.
I wake up early sometimes. It's just because I do or because I have to, but I'm a bit of a night owl, so I do stay up later sometimes than usual.
Cool,
Only
sounds
sometimes.
good to me. So I'll hit stay up late. Which of these heroes inspire you the most? Professionals like cops or doctors, fictional heroes like superheroes, or change groups like a rights movement or a certain political party?
Fictional heroes like superheroes,
I mean, obviously.
straight off the bat.
Yep. What kind of music is your ultimate favorite? Fast paced and or high energy? Example: rock, metal, heavy dubstep. I hate that they grouped all of those.
Yeah,
Medium
that
pace
makes
slash energy. Example: pop, hip hop, some alternative. Or chill pace and/or fluctuation of energy. Example: classic, blues, or
like
choir.
I'll be honest, those are some really bad examples because
Yep.
they can alternate quite extensively. Like I would say that's fine. Dubstep as fast paced kind of makes sense to me,
Yeah.
but the rest, and I guess heavy metal as well. But well, metal music. But
Yeah.
yeah, I will say this. Yeah, the fact they didn't put things like rap and fast paced kind of makes me question that because that is what I would put there. But well, this is not about that.
It's not about that now. It's what you would choose.
I would say medium pace.
Medium pace. Respectable. When is something illegal? Always or only when you get caught?
Uh, I'm that logical guy, so I would say always
Yeah. Okay.
because even if you don't get caught, it's still legal and wrong.
I mean, it's not a good question.
No, it's not. That's a very paladin question, actually.
It
That is a
is.
very
It really
paladin
is.
question.
If you don't like someone you see fairly often, would you rather end a relationship somehow, or just deal with it, or be really boring around them and hope things change on their own? How do you really feel about me?
If leaves Discord call. Glint. uh, hmm.
Hmm.
That I am that kind of passive person. I don't often like conflict when it
Yeah,
comes to people emotionally. So I would say just deal with it, or
just
be
deal with
really
it.
boring around them. So yeah, that would
Fair.
that more than likely.
As far as politics and ideals, do you wish that more people would have similar ideas to me / be more educated?
That's such that is such a wizard
Oh
mindset.
my god, okay. Or
That's,
they were much less significant to life and or talked about less for at least what? That doesn't make any sense. Do you wish that they were much less significant to life and or oh gotcha. Okay, so do you want people to agree with you more politically or do you want people to talk about it less? Or is it fine as it is?
I will say it's fine as it is because man, the first one is that's
The
such
first
a
one is
douche.
fucking awful.
The first one is such a dish bag way of put. But here's the thing: there are going to be people who select that.
Oh yeah, I'm
You know,
sure. I'm sure. All the people want Punisher cancelled.
yeah.
When it comes to your unique thoughts and ideas, do you typically put them on hold for a special day in the future, act on them, or try them out sooner than later, or put them on hold and probably never come back to them? This is very confrontational.
It is. It makes you confront yourself very, very much, doesn't it?
It really
This
does.
one. Because here's the sad thing. I would like to say, oh, put them on hold and save them for a special day in the future. When I
Yeah,
actually know it's put them on hold and probably never come back to them.
yeah. Final
Yeah,
answer.
it'd probably be the third one.
Okay. I hope you get motivated by this question though.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, now we're getting into some DMing. A grotesque being appears and gives you an item / ability with infinite uses that allows you to dominate your life, but is very obscure. If you do not use the item / ability at least once a week, you can't
One.
stack up to skip weeks. This being will kill everybody else on Earth and torture you eternally. You are forced to accept what is the item / ability you would prefer to bear the burden with. The first one is a death note. Write a name in it, person dies, how you choose, and when. Second is the ability to revive into your bed anytime you are killed and get paid for levels of pain. Ooh. The
Wow.
third one,
That's
the ability to go back in time 1 day or 8 days, but not anything in the middle.
that's very specific.
Or you can alter the psyche of all mankind, but can't change back to normal.
Jesus Christ, these are all right.
And before you choose, remember, you have to once a week at least use these powers.
Yeah. Because this being will kill everybody else on Earth and torture you eternally. I assume that's if you don't
That's if
do
you
it.
don't, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I will say this. The fourth one I'm not going to pick because
That's responsibility, isn't it?
that is a big responsibility, and
Ooh.
you're basically taking the assumption that you know better than everyone else on the planet, which is out of 8 billion people, that's a big assumption to
Yeah,
make.
but you have to do it once weekly as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you can't change it back to, I assume, what it was before. So you have to you have to keep coming up with something new every single time. Which is, you're gonna run out of shit eventually.
Yeah.
So you're on borrowed time. So the ability to go back 1 day or 8 days, weirdly, is probably the one with the least risk, I would argue.
Mm.
The ability to revive into your bed every time you were killed is also, I mean, there's a lot less risk there, but it's also very, very fucking painful because you
It
have to
is.
die. You
You
have to
get
die
money though.
once. Yeah, you do, but you also have to die once a week.
Yeah, that's true.
And
At
to be fair,
least.
the money equals the amount of pain you endure. I
That is
mean,
true.
meaning if you just take the wimpy way out and like just shoot yourself in the head and get it, bang over and done with, you probably get like $1 because it doesn't specify how much you get paid.
Yeah, it doesn't specify any price tag, but no pain, no gain. Am I right?
Yeah, I guess so.
But then the
Hey,
death note is.
That's the thing. There are two things about that. One, I do see the use of it because if you just see like a terrorist on the news, it's like, oh, Osama bin Laden. It's like, all right, write his name in the book, and he's dead, and a lot of the world's
Yeah.
problems are solved.
And then also write in that he dies in an embarrassing way, just like a cherry on top.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the issue: you have to pick one person a week to die.
Yeah, and I
You
feel
are-
like it's dangerous as fuck as well, because like literally, if someone just goes like, "Oh, that Trump fella is a bit annoying,"
Yeah,
that
like
could cause some problems.
yeah, if someone like if you gave into the emotional like burn of like just someone annoyed you, even just for a second, and you decided in that brief moment that was enough, and you wrote their name in, that person dies, and then you may
Yeah,
regret it.
that's a risk.
That is a big risk.
Also, I haven't
So
seen the show, so I don't know what that means other than that.
I will say no to the first one as well.
Okay.
Because while I can see the practical use of it to an extent, there's once again that issue of like that is still a lot of responsibility. You're controlling life and death.
Yeah. So it's between
So,
the second and third then.
yep. I will say because again, both have practical use to a weird extent because you can afford to live a little risky with the second ability. You die and you just go to your because let's think. I assume like you have to use that ability at least once a week. There's no maximum setting, which means you can die however many times a
As
week.
many times as you want.
Yeah, because therefore you can live life very, risque. You think, oh, I don't have to cross the road, with looking because I'll just cross it, splat, and I'll just wake
Yeah.
up in my bed and like,
Exactly.
I'm fine.
It's free real
Whereas,
estate.
yeah, the other one, you go back 1 or 8 days. And the thing is, the advantages with that is like if you make a mistake, you're like, fuck, I really wish I hadn't said that, or I really wish I hadn't done that. You just go back and you either never say it or you never do it.
Yeah. To be fair, we don't actually know the rules for this one. Like, do you go
Yeah.
back in time like, Groundhog Day style, or is it more like Harry Potter style?
Yeah. And that's the thing. Is it still like, do you wake up once again back in your body, or is it like there are two of you now and you have to be very careful? And there's like no set time frame of like how long it takes. Like, are you about to be hit by a fucking car and decide to go back in time one day before the car hits you and you don't make that same mistake?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm gonna say the second one simply because it's less ambiguous
Okay.
and you get paid.
So the second one.
Oh my!
You are neutral good.
Really? Because I've taken the test on my computer, and it does not say that for me.
Well, what does it say for you?
It says neutral evil.
What?
I know.
So this is a Bubkiss test.
Yes, it is. It makes no sense.
Alright, I'm gonna do a different one.
Like, we both answered the test for me on two separate devices the exact same way, and it gave two. I hate these sorts of quizzes because no matter what, it's just full
Yeah.
of bullshit.
I'm gonna do a different one by Easy Damus.
Fair enough.
Just to see if this one. But let's just say you're neutral good, because let's be honest, you're not evil.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
Alright. Family elders are expressing disapproval of you to the rest of the family. Do you accept criticism and change your ways? Do you seek a compromise with them? Do you besmirch the reputation of those expressing disapproval as you ignore their scorn? Or do you silence them in any way you can?
In other words, is there the good way, the neutral way, the shitty way, and then the evil way?
You know what? I don't know how to answer this question because I've never really had this. Like my family is generally positive.
Yeah.
If they did do that, I mean it's family, so you kind of have to like, confront them in some way.
Yeah. Like for me, I mean, once again, like I assume the criticism can also be about anything like, oh, you need to lose a bit of weight, or you need to eat
yeah,
healthier
that's
stuff.
true.
So it's like
maybe seek a compromise. Sometimes they have a point.
you and I are both the kind of person to do that. To be fair.
Yeah, seek a compromise. Would you give up a promising career to aid the family in time of need? I feel like these are a lot like family orientated. In a heartbeat, yes, with some reluctance. Only if I was certain I'd be able to return to my career soon, or no. Again, not really a situation that I've ever found myself in. But
But imagine you did. That's
yeah,
yes.
honestly, I think I would be reluctant because it's the kind of thing of like, oh, you need to give up your current stance in life, but it's family.
Yeah,
Like,
I think I would be similar.
I'd be reluctant, but I'd go for it. I think. Would you betray a family member to advance your own career? Yes, without a twinge of guilt. Yes, if I could do it secretly, I'd resist the temptation, or I'd find the very idea to be abhorrent. No. No.
Find the idea to be abhorrent.
Well, here's the thing, right? Your career is whatever it's going to be, but family is forever. Right?
That's true.
I'm not gonna do something horrible to a family member to advance my career. First of all, because they're not in my kind of world of industry. Second of all, because I mean, I don't know. I'd resist the temptation. I find the idea awful, but I don't want to be the guy who says that I'm not going to do it and then end up doing it somehow.
Also, to be fair, like there's that ambiguous thing of like, how badly are they going to be affected by it?
Yeah, exactly. Do you respect the leaders of your family? Their words guide my actions. They're role models for me. They're often out of touch with my life. They're out of touch with reality. Who are the leaders of my family? My tribe leaders. I'd say they're often out of touch with my life.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who my leader is. I mean, if it's my father that is being, I don't take their words for everything, but I don't think they're involved in my life enough to actually like be able to make decisions.
Yeah.
If your family had arranged your marriage to someone loathsome, would you go through with it? Proud to serve your family? Agree? Hiding your reluctance? Sully work against the union or flee? These are stupid answers.
They are.
I would just outright just go like, no, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna do it.
The best thing
Flee.
then either one is
run away.
Flee. Because that could also be just basically saying fleeing from the marriage as opposed to like fleeing from everything.
Exactly.
You're estranged from a family member. On his deathbed, he seeks reconciliation. Do you A. Speak to him, but hold your ground, refuse to speak to him, discuss your estrangement openly and without rancor, actively seek reconciliation, and heed his dying words? I mean, I don't know this situation all that well.
These are very strange situations that these
They
guys
are very strange situations.
They're all family related.
Yeah.
Like whether you love your family or not is the sole sole measuring stick.
I've just seen some of the ones afterwards, and they're do with friends. So I think it goes through friendship, like family friendship, then probably loved ones.
Is this a long test?
It is a long test.
Oh fuck!
It's 36 questions. All right, we gotta get through.
Oh, okay. Let's speed run. Okay, I'll be honest. On his deathbed, he's about to die, right? So may as well just get it all out in the open. Like I'm not gonna be nice to them just because they're dying. Although there was one time where I kind of did that. No, I felt guilty about doing it, and then I met them again. Because basically, okay, so I'll press this in the meantime. I had a family member with cancer, and like I lived in London by the time that she already had it. But no, actually that's not true. I moved to London, and before I moved, I saw her once more. And in that meeting that I had with her, I said, "I'll see you again," and then her cancer progressed and deteriorated, and I felt very guilty about saying that. And
Yeah.
so around Christmas time, she was still alive, and we did visit her. And when we parted, I did say goodbye, and I chose my words very carefully that time, so I don't. So I feel like, and then 2 months
Yeah.
after that, she did. So at that point, it's like, I feel like this is more appropriate because otherwise I would have said see you again, like almost like trying to give like false hope.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. A powerful but corrupt judge offers you wealth if you'll testify against your friend. Do you condemn your friend and take the money? Do you take the money and testify but try to keep your testimony ineffective? Refuse the offer and refuse to testify, or testify on your friend's behalf no matter the consequences. I'll be honest. Choice
Go
number
on.
choice number 2 is a dangerous one.
It is. That could potentially like get you into a lot of trouble.
So
That judge is corrupt. Who knows what he'll do to you?
exactly.
Because also, well, here's the
Also,
thing as
he
well. I would say.
prepays, so he's not that smart. Like,
Yeah.
take the money and testify. He's paying me to make a statement, and he pays me before I've made the statement.
Yeah.
I take the money. That's on him. That's he
Yeah.
made the mistake.
But I will say this. It
Mm,
while it says a corrupt judge offers you wealth to testify against your friend, it doesn't specify whether or not your friend is actually guilty, because a corrupt judge could
that
offer
is
you money
true.
to testify just to get it over with. But there
Yeah.
again, if there's no evidence just if your friend is or isn't. So personally, for me, people might think this is a dick move. I would refuse the offer and refuse to testify, but that's just me.
I'll be honest. I think take the money and testify, but keep your testimony ineffective is a win-win, right?
Fair.
Because
It's-
if he doesn't come after you, then you have money. If he does come after you, you go, so you don't mind if I go public about the fact that you paid me to testify against my friend.
Yeah,
It's a win-win. And there's money
yeah,
involved. You know?
it is. But
You
at the
win
same time, I
money.
feel like if it's a corrupt judge,
Yeah.
while it doesn't tell you that there's risk, I feel like you should have
Yeah.
enough confidence that there's risk. So
To be fair,
would
you're
do it.
neutral good. That's lawful though. That is weirdly lawful.
What, refuse to testify and refuse to?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I view myself as neutral good, but at the same time, I think the alignment system is kind of broken because
It
it always
is.
depends. It depends on the situation that you're in, because it will always the situation, the context, everything will drive how you decide. One moment you could be neutral good, another moment you could be chaotic evil. You know,
Yeah.
for example, I think pranks are chaotic evil, but at the same time, you know,
Not necessarily evil. I think they can be chaotic neutral because some of them are very harmless.
some of them are. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. I would say they're either chaotic neutral or chaotic evil. But they're never chaotic good in any way. There's no good with
No, that's true.
pranks.
That's true.
So, next one. Do you become close with a friend or hold most friends at a safe distance? I have an abundance of close friends. I have some close friends. I have a few close friends. I try to keep people at a distance.
I'll be very honest. I have a few close friends.
Yeah, same. I
Like,
can probably list the close friends I currently have that I keep contact with, because before the list would probably have been longer, but that's if like I kept more constant contact with them.
yeah.
But as people move away, you lose touch. You stop being close with them or as close with them. So yeah,
Yeah. I can probably count mine on a single hand, probably.
yeah, I'm probably the same.
Yeah. Because, like, I'll be honest, like, it's not that I hate people as such, it's just that, I don't know, I don't like the idea of having a lot of close friends. Because it sounds like
Yeah,
maintenance to me. And there's already maintenance with a lot of friends that, honestly, I'm not even that close with. But that's COVID more than anything. Yeah, what
yeah,
about you, Tammy? Like that's the kind of like, and especially since COVID as well, especially like around the previous lockdown to now, I have kind of gotten to a point where I kind of want to become an antisocial at some point. At least for like a week or something, where I'm just alone with my thoughts.
no, I can understand that, because I
Yeah.
have those sort of moments as well. Because I won't lie, there are points where it's like when there's D&D coming around the corner or game nights with friends, and I'm always thinking to myself, like, man, I would just like a night to myself.
Yeah, I agree. Especially if it's like when you're about to be with a big group.
Yeah,
That's when I'm really
exactly.
like I've not really played Among Us with the guys in a while because I genuinely just don't feel the need to anymore.
Yeah, it's such a big group.
Yep.
But
And
yeah,
it's the feeling of obligation as well.
yeah. So, next one. Have you ever betrayed a friend? Ooh, I have done so more than once, and I sometimes get away with it. I have done so once. I have been tempted to do so, but I've never gone through with it. I've contemplated such a thing. I've never contemplated such a thing, sorry. I'm trying to remember if I
Your questions
ever.
were so much better.
Yeah,
I hate
I'm
this. This is so confrontational.
it is. But to be fair, I think that actually makes the test better
I'll be
because it
honest,
really confirms
it
who
does.
you are.
You have to be really honest. I'll be honest,
Yeah.
I don't remember. I want to say the first one, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
And
What?
it was always retaliation.
Oh, that you have betrayed friends.
Well, yeah. But basically, it's usually like because a friend of mine betrayed me, I would go, okay, well, fuck you then,
Well, here's the
and
thing, because
then
like
kind of done a thing.
here's the thing in terms of like that idea of like betraying a friend. Is it like that context of like on Call of Duty when you get friendly fired and hardcore, do you then turn around and shoot your friend straight away as well because they shot you and you felt betrayed? Or is it more
No,
like are you actually maliciously betraying them? Because that's the way I'm sort of reading into this. Like this is like it's not like a oh my friend wanted the last donut but I ate it instead. This is more like a oh
no. This is
fair
if I were
play.
to say like seriously like done something to the extent where
Yeah,
after that we just couldn't be friends anymore,
yeah. Because
then
like
yeah, there's definitely been times.
wow, because I'm
I was
struggling to think
young
of
though.
any.
I was young. I remember. So this is one thing, but to be fair, I only did that because I had a choice, and in a choice you can't win.
Yeah,
Basically, when I was about 11, right, a classmate like there was a girl in my class that I really liked. But she was like one of there was popular kids and there was less popular kids, and obviously I was with the less popular kids because otherwise, why
yeah.
the fuck would I host this channel? Um, so basically, the more popular kids, of which she was part of, and a friend of mine as well, they were part of this like get together in the evening. We were like 11. This was like summer camp or something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that friend of mine we're saying is friends with. We were like a trio between him, a threesome if you will, if you speak English. Between him, myself, and then another friend of ours that is still a very good friend of mine to this day.
Yeah.
Um, the first one, let's call him John. It's not his name. He has a more ordinary Dutch name, but well, maybe,
Yeah.
but yeah, John. Um, and the second one, his name is Arthur. I'm happy to kind of reveal that because we're still friends. So John, Arthur, and myself, we were close friends. So John was in a part of the popular group, and the girl, let's call her Jennifer, which is obviously not her name. She has a more traditional Dutch
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
Um, they were playing Truth or Dare, right? And one of them got dare, and they were dared to be a couple for a day. And then after that day, they continued with it. And John knew that I liked her. Now again, we were 11, so it meant fuck all, right? Looking back on it, it was sad. But basically, at that point, I had a conversation with John, and I was like, "Dude, I don't like that you did that. Could you please like, not do that?" Anyway, he was like, "No, it's fine. We're gonna be together for a bit. Like, I don't see this going anywhere." And then they stayed together for like a couple of months. She didn't like Arthur, right? So she then told John that if he continues to be friends with Arthur, she will break up with him. And so he decided to not be friends with Arthur anymore. And then they put me in the middle of it, and they were like, "You're gonna have to choose." And I said, "Dude, you've never given me an easier decision."
Yeah. That I'll be honest, I don't see how that's a betrayal on your part. Definitely on this other person.
Oh no, this is he saw it as a betrayal, but like in this
No,
case, I'm happy to say like, I mean,
I
it's a betrayal, but you
okay.
got it coming.
Yeah. Let's think like, oh, that's such an like I
Didn't
don't
stop
know
there,
that
by the way.
that to me doesn't feel like a betrayal. That feels
Yeah,
like karma, which is different.
yeah. Except for the fact that again we were 11, so it means fuck all. But
Yeah.
so basically, a beautiful thing that came after that. So after summer camp came, we like in the Netherlands, it's tradition that at the end of elementary school, your class does the last class, like in the last year, does a musical, right? So we perform a musical, and ours one was, I don't remember the name of it. It was like a Dutch written one, and my mom actually set the whole thing up, right? So she actually like instructed the kids. And so there's this song at some point where we're singing about like all the stages um of elementary school, like with uh the different years we went through. And then we hold up numbers of years that we were in. And so she got number 8. And then I got number 7, I believe. No, I got number 8 as well. And then John got number 7. And I purposefully stood in between them. And he was like, "Hey, could you like swap around with her so I can stand next to her?" And I was like, "No, I'm good." And he was like,
Okay.
"Come on, it's my girlfriend." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm standing here, we were put here at random. This is my position. Too bad. Sucks to be you. I don't know what to say."
Fair.
Yeah. But I mean, I've betrayed people as well in a way that I'm not necessarily proud of.
Yeah.
But
I
always
feel
like
the ones that you have betrayed, you're probably not going to really talk about. Whereas once again, that one
that one.
didn't.
I mean, that one was funny, so I'm happy to reveal that
That
one.
seemed more like a karma thing rather than a betrayal thing.
Yeah.
But fair enough. If that's how you view that you betrayed him, sure.
Yeah, but always like I'll be honest, I've had the feelings of betraying people even though it probably wasn't that bad, but it was always
Yeah.
out of like a higher necessity.
Yeah.
Like it was never to suit my own needs. It was like because there was really no way around it or the person really had it coming.
Yeah.
Um there's more stories, but I'm sure they'll come up in the following weeks. Anyway,
Carrying on to the next one, number 10. And we,
I've done more than
yeah.
once. And sometimes I get away with it.
Yeah.
Actually almost always.
Okay. So, how do you view lifelong commitment to a single partner? I have or want such a romance. Such a romance would be ideal if it's achievable. I am worried I'd miss out on what others have to offer. Tie myself to one person, huge mistake. So, in other words, yes, I do have it or really want it.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's nice, only if I could get it. And then
I
there's, I'm worried I won't have it. And then there's finally, nah, fuck that, stupid.
I don't even have to think about this. I mean,
Which one
okay,
is it?
no, wait. Okay, maybe that's again the wording is vague, so I'll choose such a romance would be ideal. Basically,
Yeah,
because I keep thinking like I don't know if this is like because I've already been involved with someone and clearly we're not anymore, but like, and I don't really particularly want to get back with them as well. Like I'm okay with that now with this where we are now. Basically, the way I look at it is I would never go for a one night stand because such things just don't interest me. I want to
yeah,
be involved with someone, so I get involved with them, like on a
yeah,
personal level.
yeah.
There's no question. This is a silly. For me, it's a silly question, but
Yeah, but
I
to be
I
fair,
understand that other people will have different ideas.
next up, do you insist on repayment when lending money to friends? Yes, I write up a contract so there's no misunderstanding. Right,
Jesus.
that's the devil response. Yes, but I try to be flexible about it. The exact time. No, although it's sure nice to be repaid. No, they just owe me a favor. Well, either way, there's no response of like no, because it doesn't matter to me. There's
I
no,
don't.
there's no
Yeah, I don't like this the way it's phrased. I'll just say, although it's nice to be repaid, no, I'm not gonna insist on it.
yeah,
I'll
same.
keep
I would be
track
the
of it.
same
I'll keep track of all the things that someone owes me or I owe someone in my head.
because then yeah, I won't. I'd be honest. I'll be the same. Like, no, it's okay. Just if you
Yeah,
want to, that's fine. But there's no real need to.
yeah,
Unleash. No, there's no unleash, but it's more like if that person then goes, "Huh,
yeah,
you owe me one." It's like, really, you owe me, and then you get the exact number. Like,
yeah.
okay,
Exactly.
even. And like, yes.
It's like the fucking Chandler and Joey thing.
Yeah, exactly. How do you erase this? I love that. Are you still in touch with childhood friends? Yes, we correspond regularly. Yes, we try to keep in touch. No, I move around too much. No, I don't have anything. I'll be honest, for
Yeah.
me, it is no, I move around too much. Because if we're talking about real childhood friends from like when I was a child, not like a teenager or anything, then
Yep.
no. But yeah, for
So
me, it's a no.
I have several friends. The first one I've already mentioned is Arthur. I think
Yeah,
we've been friends since the equivalent of year, I want to say 4.
sure, whatever
So
that is.
so so we were like 8 at the time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that is 16 years. And then I have another friend called Tom that I'm still in touch with, who actually wanted to play games tonight, but I sadly refused. 17
Well,
years, and we still game occasionally. Like
yeah,
we do like correspond like at least
yeah,
once
yeah,
every week.
yeah, that's fair.
Um,
So I assume then you're probably more regularly than correspond regularly than me.
yeah, probably. Well, no, we talk daily.
No,
Oh, as in you
what?
with your friends.
Yeah, like you compared
Yeah,
you
no,
with
I
your
probably do
friends
as well.
compared
But to be honest, you did move around a lot, and we're of that generation as well, where when we were younger, instant messaging wasn't really a thing.
yeah,
So I only am still in touch with these people because they are from, well, they're not from, but um they resided in my hometown for pretty much almost as long as I did.
yeah, exactly.
And I lived there for 15 years. So,
Yeah, there you go. Next
Right.
up. Do you donate time and money to improve the local community? Yes, the needs of the community are my top priority. Yes, I donate as much time as I can once my own needs are met. No, I don't have enough time or money to spare. No, my local community would be a waste of time and money. Wow, that fourth one is a real
Yeah, that's really evil. Um
yeah,
I'll be honest, I'd like to the real answer that I feel isn't there, but I feel like 4 is too harsh. I don't
yeah,
like donating money to charity because I don't know where the money is going.
yeah. I think that's the thing. Like, if there was an option of like, no, but I would like to,
Yeah.
then that would be a perfect one. But there again, the best one that there is probably no, I don't have enough time or
Yeah.
money to spare.
Well, what I think is, how like in a lot of American sitcoms, there's like this Thanksgiving volunteer kitchen situation.
Yeah,
If they had something like that in my community, and they were like, "Hey, on the day off, just come by and like feed some homeless people," I'd probably be like, "Yeah, okay, let's do that. That sounds good to me." But if they come to me
yeah.
and they go like, "Oh, could you like donate £50 to the homeless?" and it's like, no,
No, no. Yeah, that's the
how
thing.
much
I'd
of that
always
money is
rather.
going to the homeless?
That's
Why
the
do
thing.
why are
I'd
they
rather.
still homeless? Why don't they have a house by now? Like all
Oh,
the
okay,
money
that's
you ever get, and you have these great and fancy offices. Is that where the money
and
is going?
yeah, I hate those people who are part like of an organization. Like, if it's not an organization, then I think okay, that's actually probably nah. Yeah, it's very iffy. Let's
Yeah,
think. If they, I would say, if there was a question of like, do you like to donate time and money to help improve people? I'd be like, oh, I like to donate time, but I would not like to donate money,
yeah.
kind of thing.
Even if I do donate money, I'd like to give it to like the victim, I guess, directly, and not
Yeah,
even in the form
exactly.
of money, but like in some form that they can actually have some use out of it, like food or
Food.
clothes or something like that.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
money doesn't do them any good. It's like giving glasses to the blind.
This is such a D&D question. Your community is threatened with invasion. Do you help defend it to your last breath? Do you defend the area with the rest of your community? Flee as soon as things look grim. Cut a deal with the enemy to act as a spy. That's the thing.
Um,
I assume the community is basically where we live. I'll be honest, as
yeah.
nice as it is, man, I ain't saying to defend that place.
No, I'm not gonna defend that place. Probably
Yeah.
flee as soon as things look grim.
Yeah, I would say because flee as soon as things look grim makes it sound like, oh, I would stick around, but if it looked really bad, I'd.
Who's invading? Who
Who's
invades Collier's Wood? I mean, I'm sorry, there's nothing fucking here.
Chinese? I don't know.
Let's cross through Collier's Wood to get to Wimbledon. Yeah, great. What's in Wimbledon?
To be
Fucking
fair, because
foreigners. That's about it.
Stamford Bridge is in Fulham, they're probably all like, oh, all those fucking
No, Fulham, I
Spurs
get.
fans or whatever. Or
You'll be
invading
invaded by fucking Arsenal fans. I see that happen. But like,
that's the thing to it, I would say. And no, I ain't defending that shit. Fuck it.
no, nope, that's their problem.
So, if you were injured and required immediate assistance, would members of your hometown agree to help you? Yes, because they know me.
Shit
Yes,
question. Such a
that is a
shit question.
such a shit question. Because what if you don't know the people?
Yes,
in
because
your
I'm generally well liked. Fuck off, you arrogant prick.
Probably not because I'm distrusted in my own hometown. Definitely not. That makes no sense to me.
I'm gonna say probably not.
Oh
Because
wait. Here's the thing. Hometown.
uh
Actual people you probably know.
I've been away from my hometown for very long. So I think most people that I did know there don't live there anymore.
Yeah.
So probably not, because it's not wise to trust a stranger.
I will say this for me because I don't really have a hometown.
Hmm.
I'm going to say this is probably more like essentially what I would consider people who I live near sort of situation. Like, because like once again, that's a tough question, especially for me because I don't have a hometown.
Yeah.
But I'm going to replace hometown with friends and family because that's the closest thing I would have to a hometown.
Yeah.
And I do have some who live close enough to me to help.
I have no one.
And here's the thing: I remember once a while ago, back when we were at LFA,
Mm.
I basically did something where I hit my hand against something, and I cut it open, and I could even see the bone. I was like, "Fuck!"
Whoa,
And I was
what? Whoa, what?
yeah,
Hang on. When the fuck did that happen?
ages ago. This was back when I was in the filmmaking diploma. Like this thing, it wasn't super bad in the end. Like it was a small cut, and I could just see. Like it was either the bone or like the flesh that was just covering the bone, but it was bad enough for me to panic, but not bad enough for me to feel in the end threatened looking back upon it.
Yeah.
But like I called Deshaun and Isis and said, "Hey, I've hurt my hand. I want to go to the hospital. Could I just have like some people for moral support?" And they both came immediately.
Well, yeah, no, but they's good people.
Yeah.
But also, I
And
just imagine you walking up to them like casually with a massive fucking cut, just go like, "Hey guys, I need to go to the hospital.
well, it was
You want to come
more
with?"
I was at home. I was at my flat
Oh,
and then and they were like, "Oh yeah," and to be fair, they lived in the area, so
they
you could
did live in
argue.
the area. They lived like
So,
maybe 10 minutes away.
so they came pretty much as quickly as they could. When I was like, "Oh man, I'm panicking," and in the end, it was like I said, I could even probably show you the cut one day when we meet in person because there's a scar there, but it's like
Jeez.
it was a small cut.
Can I just ask, what happened?
Like I came home and I was taking off my coat and I threw it onto the table and I kind of misjudged the speed and velocity of things and I hit the chair. And the thing is, the chair was edged enough that it could cut something, and
Fuck.
I hurt myself. I was like, "Oh, I'm bleeding. I'll go like quickly wash it and put some pressure on it to stop it from bleeding." And then after a point, it's like, "Wait a second," and I was like moving because it was just over on my right hand on my middle finger. I was
Yeah.
like, I was moving my middle finger. I was like, "Wait a second, I could see I could see stuff moving. That's the bone, isn't it? Yeah, I can see my finger's bone moving." I was like, "Fucking
Fuck.
hell, that." It freaked me out, but that was
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah, the
super
imagine so. Ugh.
bad.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's always that moment of like, "Oh, I can see the inside of me." I don't like that feeling. But in the end, it was fine. There was no resounding issues. Yeah.
We need to speed
Moving
through
on.
this test.
Yes, we have to move on now. Do you respect the laws and authority of the community? Yes, without question. Yes, they generally do the best way to govern.
Mm.
When it suits me, there are some laws I just don't agree with. In other words, do you wear a mask or not? I don't pay attention to the authorities. They've got no hold over me.
So I'll be absolutely honest. When it suits me, because there are some laws that I don't necessarily agree with. But I will say, no serious laws, right? So, stuff like don't kill people. Like, yeah, I respect that.
Yeah.
And there's the way I look at it, right, is it's the same as filmmaking, except for the fact that that's rules and laws are very different. But in
Yeah.
filmmaking, often enough, you're okay to break a rule as long as you understand it.
Yeah.
And I feel like with laws, it's a very similar thing where, like, if you understand why the law is in place, you know how to work around it in a way that it's still respecting the law in itself. So, for instance, you don't cross the street when there's a red light, right?
But that's fair.
But if I can see that there's no one coming, and I've got places to be, then I'll cross a red light.
Yeah. No,
I will say on
that
foot. In a car,
Yeah.
I would never dream
Well,
of it.
no, in a car, there's too much at risk.
Like
'Cause it
when
hits.
I drive, which I never really do anymore, but when I do drive, I will always respect the law.
Yeah, because I will say, because that's the difference. Because if you're crossing the street as on foot, the worst that happens is you get hurt.
Yeah,
Whereas if it's a car,
exactly.
worst that happens is you kill someone.
You're the one
And
with the power.
to be fair, if you're walking, there is a slight off chance that if a car sees you and they're speeding down, they swerve out of the way and they hit and then they
Shouldn't be
die. But at the same
speeding.
time, that's a very, very particular situation.
Shouldn't be
which I
speeding
feel-
in a suburban area.
Yeah.
That's still their fault. I'm not taking the blame for this one. I'm walking away.
Look, it's their fault. They shouldn't have been speeding in the first place. You shouldn't have been crossing a red light in the first place. Ah, you have got me there, law.
Law.
Shit.
This is why you win, law.
To be fair, you would probably win the argument there because they
Yeah.
shouldn't have been speeding.
No,
So
exactly.
you'd probably get off scot-free, but I imagine, like, if their
Yeah.
family was there and giving you that, why did you do it? Look, you'd probably be feeling a little bit more guilty.
Yeah. Also, remember that when I was in the Netherlands and I went to school, I rode my bicycle, and bicyclists are notorious for not respecting the law.
No, they're assholes. They're complete pricks.
Like,
Cyclists aren't.
I'll be honest. There's been times when I went drinking,
Yep.
and it lasted until the middle of the night somewhere, and I
Yep.
was riding home at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And I, in the Netherlands, you have bicycle lanes pretty much everywhere, right? So you stick to those as a bicyclist. You are not allowed to go on the open road with your bicycle. But at 3 a.m.,
You're drunk. You're gonna go on the open road. Yeah.
well, technically, I wasn't drunk because my tolerance was a lot higher at the time.
But you
Also,
were
I was a little bit scared to actually like find the what's it called, the limits at the time. So I wasn't
Fair.
really pushing it yet. So I was tipsy at most, but I did think to myself like, well, there's an open road, there's no cars. I may as well experience this. I'm not gonna be able to experience this ever again.
Unless you're literally in any other country than the Netherlands that generally don't have bicycle lanes.
Yeah, but you wouldn't go in the middle of the open road. That's what I mean. Like I wasn't
You'd be
like
surprised.
the
It's
careful lawbreaker where I'm like, I'm just gonna go on the right side of the road, like all the way to the right, so that if a car does pass by, no, I was like on the white stripes.
No, I know what you're getting at, but it's like they're still cyclists are assholes, so they would still be
yeah.
in the middle of the road, even
It's
if it
true.
was a busy day. Anyway,
In the interest of
carrying on.
time, could you please read just the question?
Just a question.
Yep.
Do members of your hometown shun, avoid, or mock you?
Nope, I'm generally seen as normal. Next. There's nothing to say about that. That was normal.
Yeah. Would you stand for office or seek to represent the interest of your community in some public manner?
Nope, I don't care about the community enough to lead them.
Yeah, same.
Or do you know what?
That's the thing.
Because maybe.
It's just community. You're not like running to lead the nation, because
Yeah.
otherwise it'd be the interest of a nation. But it's like the interests of the community, which means your local area. And for me, I don't give enough of a shit about local
No.
politics.
No, nor do I.
Your country is wrecked or whacked with famine.
Correct.
Racked with famine. Would you? Yeah.
Would I? That's a real question.
Would you?
Steal as much food as possible, then sell it back to the community at a high price. Yes. Yes. Yes.
I mean,
No.
I won't lie, you are Jewish. No offense.
Whoa. Whoa. That's not what we do. We live on
He said,
crumbs, mate.
sure.
I don't know, man.
I personally would probably eat as
Yeah,
little.
probably. Yeah.
It says eat as little as possible for yourself, because I think as little as possible is basically like as little,
Yeah,
like as
the
you need to
minimum
survive.
amount.
Yeah, the minimum amount you need to survive. If offered enough money, would you slip a poison into your king's drink?
Oh, Mr. Willem Alexander. If only
I
you
like
didn't give that much money to your daughters.
I like the third option. No, although a vast sum of money would tempt
I mean,
me.
you know how there is an actual rule in the UK where you're not allowed to like say anything to like
Crazy.
threaten or otherwise like offend the queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no such thing in the Netherlands as far as I'm aware. So I could probably choose this and get away with it. I wouldn't. The thing is, I'll say no. I'll say this as a joke, right? Because the answer is no anyway. I wouldn't go and tell the king, like, I'm not a snitch.
I
would just politely refuse the money.
Yeah, I would refuse the money. Although I am going to say no, I'd warn the king of the plot simply because I, as a fucking commoner, am not getting anywhere near the queen
Well,
and
yeah.
or king in this case. So
Also, you
They're
might
not-
be pointed out as probably the perpetuator.
yeah, I can't warn them anyway, even
Also,
if I try.
would you slip poison into your king's drink? First of all, I need to get there. Second of all, it's not a way to deconstruct a monarchy. You can't just kill the king and be done with it.
Unless it was particularly that king you didn't like and you thought his son might do a better job. Or daughter, who knows. But who knows?
Who
That's
knows?
a very vague question in the end. It's a very stupid one, let's be honest. Anyway, on to the next one. A plague is sweeping across your country. Would you undertake a dangerous mission to find
No, avoid contact with the sick. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. Who am I
Sure.
helping right now? Really?
Here's the funny thing. Aren't we already doing that?
I am. This is my point.
Yeah, we're literally going through a plague right now.
I haven't
so
fled the country even though I really want to.
weirdly relatable. Do you respect the lawful authority of the ruler of the land? Oh, Boris, do I respect you?
Yes, long live the Queen, Boris. Um, I mean, the rules are invariably corrupted by power.
Yeah.
A ruler is no better than anyone else. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Whoop. Oh, this is one question. Gotcha.
If you were offered a reasonable, lucrative deal, would you spy for a hostile foreign power?
No, because I might get caught.
Yeah, literally, that's the only reason. It's not if there's not enough.
I'm
in it
not a
for
very
me,
good
mate.
spy. I'm sorry.
But they're like, but what if we made you the king of the nation afterwards? It's like, yeah, but what if I'm dead?
I
There's
don't
no
want
real-
that kind of power.
Do you rely on your government to enforce contracts and property rights? Sorry, the third one does feel very British. Are you kidding me? The
Ooh.
government can't even pave roads. That feels so British. I see all these roadworks and I
I'll
never
be
see
honest.
any roads
Yeah,
doing anything.
everywhere in the UK as well. It's
Yeah.
fucking wild. I'll be honest. When they say the government, they mean like the court system specifically, right? So I'm gonna say yes because courts should be best equipped to
They-
handle this situations.
Position
Knowing
being-
full well what I said earlier about potentially breaking laws that I don't necessarily agree with.
Yeah.
I still think that a human judgment that is, yeah, that's outside of the law a little bit.
think that's the thing. You can reach deals without the need of the government's help, but sometimes if the person generally just like if you were, let's say, a landlord and the person wouldn't leave, and you tried to convince them and you tried to help them in whatever ways, and they still just wouldn't leave, at that point you need the courts and the law and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. If in prison, would you injure or kill others to escape? Yes, serves them right for
Mm,
locking up. Yes, they knew the risks when they
see,
took the
that's
job.
awful.
No, except for minor wounds that will heal easily.
I wouldn't even
No.
attempt to escape, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like that's the thing. No, the guards are
No,
just doing their jobs, to
they're
be
doing their
honest.
jobs. I mean, I will
Yeah.
say I've seen documentaries where guards are doing way more than their jobs.
Oh yeah.
But
Because
no, I I'm in
well,
prison. I'll do the time.
here's a sort of quick little story. I'll be quick with this one.
Yes.
I saw something on YouTube recently about a guard who was apparently, I think, going into like cardiac arrest or something at a prison, and because he was such a liked guard, the prisoners were like yelling for help, and a couple of them were able to get out, and they went to help him. And I was like, wow,
Nice.
that's nice to the prisoners, showing that perhaps there is hope for
Good
the
guards.
justice system. Yeah, good guards, good prisoners. There's hope. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
next one. Do you accept a noble's right to treat badly the serfs who work on his land?
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
I like it. No nobles should rule as kind. No one has a right to treat another badly.
Yep.
That one?
Yep.
Fourth one? I
No.
say that
No
one.
fucking question about it.
Yeah. You have accidentally committed a crime. Do you?
I mean, what kind of situation would that be? Whoops! I killed someone.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I'm going to go with a minor crime because if you accidentally commit a crime, it's like maybe you just walk out of a store with something you shouldn't have. But yeah, that's once again that's such a crap one because if it's a murder, if you hide it and then get caught, it turns so much worse for yourself. Whereas you turn yourself in saying I accidentally did it, I really didn't mean to do it, they might actually let you off a little
I'll turn
easier.
myself in.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, and make restitution. I mean, it's the least you can do, really.
Yeah, fair enough. That's to be fair, because if you did walk out of a store with something,
Yeah.
or if I walked out of a store with something I shouldn't have, I would have walked back.
Whoops! I stole this.
Yeah, I would walk back and say, "Sorry, I walked out of the store with this." I'll just
Actually, whoa! Now I think about it. Oh no, wait. Okay, are we going to distinguish between crimes, misconducts, and felonies? Because if stealing is a crime and I accidentally like steal something, then I will probably just go with it.
Here's the thing, though. I will argue this with you. What if you stole something very fucking valuable? The police came after you because it is worth millions, and you got caught with it.
I mean, if it's called okay, this is very circumstantial because if it's worth millions, then no, I'm not going to steal it.
Once again, stealing is one of those things where it's like,
But yeah, but like for instance, like if I go to Tesco's, right, and I get a couple of bags of crisps, and I get 3, but I've only paid for 2, and no one made an issue out of this, I'll just go, okay, great, bag of crisps. I'm not gonna say anything. That's what 50p.
I would agree with you on that. But once again, it's one of those things where you accidentally committed a crime, and if you're going with that idea of I stole a bag of crisps,
Well, that's a misconduct, isn't it?
Yeah, that's more of a misconduct than an actual.
Okay, if it's a crime, then yeah, I'll turn myself in. If it's like a bad crime, then yes.
Yeah.
If I, I'll go back into the jewelry store and just go like, whoops, I accidentally got this diamond ring that I didn't pay for.
They'll be like, yeah, sure.
By the way, this glass is not very safe. I just smashed right through it somehow.
Really learn to lock your doors. Anyway, if guilty, would you confess to a crime?
If guilty, yes, because lying is always better than the alternative in those situations.
you would confess.
I would confess, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I won't be honest. I wouldn't be because it's because it's my duty. It would be because it could get me a life sentence.
No, I find it morally difficult to lie about things.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but it's more like, do I really feel that sense of like duty and honor, or is it more like, yeah, because if I'm not honest, I'll get punished, kind of thing.
No, for me, it's the moral thing. I'll be honest.
Fair enough.
I'm not gonna be high and mighty about it. I'm not gonna say like it is my
Oh,
moral duty. It's because I'm morally just obligated. Because if I try
yeah,
to lie about it, I just go like, that's not fair.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, I'll agree with you on that one. Would you express a revolutionary political opinion if threatened with punishment?
No, but I might privately express it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
While traveling, you witness an assault. You are ordered to testify, which will delay your travel significantly. What?
I mean, that's gonna be the unluckiest fucking thing that would ever happen.
Fucking question. You are ordered to testify. It will delay your travel significantly. Where are you witnessing this travel assault? At a fucking airport?
Yeah, literally.
That's such a dumb thing. Yes, of course, to remain until the trial and conclude.
No, reluctantly.
You-
Reluctantly, I've got places to be. Come on. I mean, now it becomes a real question of like, are you doing this because you're a good person, or are you doing this because you now feel obligated to? I would feel
That's
obligated to. I wouldn't want to go.
I would do it simply because, like if someone's been assaulted, I'd feel really fucking bad, and the police were like, "Would you come with us and testify?" I'd be like, "Yes."
Okay.
And if any later showed up to work late, and they were like, "Why were you late?" It's like I was literally testifying. And here's a note from the police saying that I would cover myself so I wouldn't get like fucking fired or anything.
Yeah, but I'll be honest. Like throughout life, I've been grossly desensitized to these kind of things. Like
I
I don't care enough.
I do like that the question literally beforehand was literally about confessing to a crime, but this one is about you
Yeah.
witnessing and if you would speak up again.
Yeah, but like this is the thing, because I am not the one committing the crime, my moral obligation shifts ridiculously far. Because now
Yeah,
suddenly it's not my problem anymore. I have
that is
no I
that's
have a moral obligation to testify, but only to the extent that I can testify. So when it says like until the trial's conclusion in case further testimony is needed, was there more to say? I saw a guy just fucking bat a guy. Like that's
yeah.
what else do you want from me? I need to go. I need to see my mum.
Also, to be fair, the way they phrase this is very like old timey. Is like if the crime happens there and there, the guy is caught
Yeah.
and they put trial immediately. So you have to go with them. Whereas if you're looking at the modern day, you witness the crime, you give a statement, you go home, the police contact you, and then ask if you will testify at a later date.
I think this test is very D&D specific, where it's like
It's
you
very
should do this in the role of your character.
yeah, which we're not trying to do. We're trying to do it
I
as
mean, technically
ourselves.
I am, when you think about it.
Yeah, yeah, you are. But here's the thing. I would say, because I'm also modernizing the questions slightly, even though that might affect the alignment later on, but it's still me kind of going,
Yeah.
I would say for the trial simply because like it won't happen there and then. It will happen at a later date because
This
of
is
how
why I'm
modern.
reluctant about it.
Fair enough. You can be reluctant. Go on.
Okay.
I'm not going to change your mind. You're not going to change your mind on that one. Fair enough.
Nope.
What is the best use of wealth? To
Batman
help.
comic.
The instant response.
Bitcoin.
Uh,
Um.
I would say
Well,
provide.
yeah, it's that whole question again. What will you do with $2.2 million?
Batman comic.
Batman comic. No, I think I'd agree.
Friends
Provide
and
needs for friends and family. I mean,
Yeah.
the destitute and less fortunate is like if something remains, then
Yeah.
you got to look out for number one and
You always,
friends.
you always want to look out for friends and family and yourself first,
Yeah.
and then yeah.
Cause ultimately, like, it's your life as well. Like the ones that are poor and destitute, like, yeah, it
Exactly.
sucks. But I want to believe that I got into that money. How did I get that money? The best use of
It does.
wealth. Okay, so wealth and
Wealth, it's
riches.
wealth that you have. So
Yeah, wealth and riches are two very different things.
yeah,
Because wealth is like a never-ending kind of, or like a almost unlimited source of large amounts of money. So if anything remains after the needs of friends and family, which there probably will
yeah,
be, yeah, the destitute and less fortunate can have it. But I'm not going to
yeah,
prioritize it.
yeah, exactly. Because if we're placing things in what goes first, it is friends and family. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. When confronted by beggars, do you give generously, give moderately, give what you wouldn't miss anyway, $1 or two at most, ignore them as you walk?
Okay, so for all the goody goodies that are watching this, I will ignore them as I walk by, and I have a very specific reason for this. One time, um, I was about 16, I want to say. I went on a
Yeah.
school trip to Lille in France.
Yeah.
This was like a 1-day trip,
Yep.
and there was this potentially elderly woman, but she was homeless and very like unhealthy looking. So she may have been younger than that. She may have not actually been elderly. She was begging,
Yeah.
right? So
Yep.
I gave her 50 cents, and all my friends told me that I shouldn't have done that, and I didn't understand why. And sure enough, later on the day, I saw the same woman walking out of like a corner store type deal, with a pack of cigarettes. And that's when I
Yeah.
found out they're not spending money on things that will keep them alive. They're spending money on things that will kill them further. And at the time, I'd
Yep.
kind of justified it by saying like, oh yeah, but they'll get at some point if she smokes too much, she'll get lung cancer and she'll die, and then she's out of her misery. That's all right, right? It's not.
Yeah.
Just
Because
don't give them money.
I will say this similar sort of train of thinking. Because it also says confronted by a beggar. So this isn't even you see a beggar on the street. The beggar comes up to you
Yeah,
when you're
which they
confronted
do.
by. Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't in that situation because two things. One, it just makes them look too desperate, and therefore you probably assume it's not even cigarettes they're going to spend that money
Yeah.
on. And two, they do it at the most inappropriate times as well. I've two times the most inappropriate one, and weirdly the same guy. You've probably seen him in Fulham.
Oh, sure.
Once he came to me in McDonald's, and
Oh,
I said no, and that's makes you should not do that at McDonald's. Another time, worse timing than that, he came up to me when I was at an ATM. I
yeah.
was
No, that's scummy.
I didn't want to say anything, but I was fucking fuming because I thought you don't like McDonald's fine, whatever, I'll shrug it off. At an
Yeah, here's a
ATM,
nugget.
you cannot walk up to someone when they're pulling out money. Even if you're a beggar, it is just even if you're
Yeah, it's
poor
not
and
on.
oh, but you have to be upset that. No, you do not do that because that person could do anything. They could steal your wallet there and then, your credit card, and all the cash you've just pulled out. You don't
Yeah,
know what they'll do, so they should not do it. But yeah, so it's yeah, I would ignore them more. But yeah, people might think that's very harsh, but that's just the reality.
it is.
All right, next up, and this is very D&D. By using magic, you could fool village merchants into thinking your copper pieces were made of gold. Do you? No,
No,
just
those
no.
merchants have family to feed.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
I'm
that.
not. I'm not gonna
That's
pay with
that's
fake
scummy.
money
Yeah,
in D
exactly.
and D with particular
That's
characters. I probably would, but not in real
yeah.
life.
If you're playing a particular way of with a character, fine. But in real life, absolutely not. Would never do anything like that. I wouldn't give someone fake money. Anyway, you have two job offers. One pays more, but the other is secure and steady. Which do you choose? Wow, that is
That's
very that is
confrontational. Uh, I feel like I'm kind of in this situation somehow. I'll be honest.
yeah.
Um, Probably the lucrative one, but I'd look into the secure one. The problem
Yeah,
is the conversation that they're having here is purely about money and not about actual like satisfaction of the spirit of or the soul
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But the lucrative one makes money.
Yeah. What's the best path to wealth?
Fuck. Well,
You fuck.
I wish I could say because
Hard work
if
and
I could say,
perseverance.
I wish I could say hard work and perseverance. It's not that.
No.
Because it is also a matter of luck. I would say
I'm gonna say weirdly staying flexible.
no. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about that one as well. It's either that one or the third one, which is following the long-term plan.
Yes, there is an element of luck. It isn't all luck.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Like, yes, luck to me, luck is like winning the lottery.
Yeah.
Hard work and perseverance is you start at the bottom, you work your way up to the top, which you can do. It's not easy. The other one is following a long-term plan that incorporates a comfortable level of risk. So that kind of makes sense,
Yeah.
but I don't think people
Joe,
always plan that.
just for the sake of it, I'm gonna go with following a long-term plan because you do want to set goals for yourself.
Yeah,
You definitely
that's
do
fair.
want to do that, and then if those plans have to change, then you have to change with them. But I think being purely flexible and not really working off of a plan can work.
But
But
it's risk.
yeah,
It's
it doesn't necessarily work.
Yeah.
But you do have to take advantage of the good opportunities. That's the
Yeah.
healthy level of risk.
Yeah. And finally, the last question. We have gone a bit over, but still.
So
been
much
fun.
over.
If you accepted a job or contract, would you try to finish the task even if it got much more dangerous?
So, whether it got much more dangerous, I don't know about real life.
I assume that's a very D&D related question, but let's just say it's dangerous in the sense that job security becomes less of a actually I guess a relatively one that makes sense. So for example, for those people who don't know, I work in the cinema industry. I work at a cinema.
Yeah.
And I accepted the job and everything. Currently very dangerous, considering who knows if there'll even be cinemas this year, considering how troubling this time has been recently.
I'll be honest. Let's take it in the context of like if you end up having to do more work than you bargained for.
Yeah.
I'd probably be renegotiating.
Yeah,
Not immediately though. But like before the whole payment happens, I would go, that wasn't the deal. And you know that.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, what's my alignment?
I'm not sure what you got, but for mine it says true neutral.
For mine it does as well.
I had an assumption a little bit that mine would be neutral. Detailed results, alignment, lawful good 16, neutral good 20.
I mean, I can't actually read what it says there.
So basically the one underneath is basically like the choices you like the account. So the one, so it's basing it off of like which ones did you pick the most out of. So for us, well, for me at least, it's true neutral 26. But the one that is second to that is lawful neutral. Okay. And then the two after that is neutral good and chaotic neutral.
Wait, let me put this into a notepad so I can actually read what it says. For me. True neutral character does what seems to be a good idea. It doesn't feel strongly about. Okay. So for me, alignment says lawful good 14, neutral good 20, chaotic good 12, lawful neutral 17, true neutral 23, chaotic neutral 15, lawful evil 11, neutral evil 17, and chaotic evil 9.
So I had chaotic evil at 6. So woo! I'm less evil than you.
Yeah.
What were your other evil ones? Just randomly.
Neutral evil was 17. That was my highest one.
Yeah. 12 was same for me. Neutral evil was 12. Lawful evil was 8.
17. Lawful evil was 11 for me.
Okay. But yeah.
Um.
Sure, I had assumed that I was always kind of assuming that I would actually be very true neutral.
Yeah. I did think to myself like I'm more good than evil. Well, basically, the one thing to always think about is like the concepts of good and evil in D&D are very important to understand because they're not
Yeah.
necessarily straightforward. I read a post about this the other day. Good doesn't mean you're doing all the right things. Good just means that you're more kind of selfless, and evil is more selfish.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. So it's saying that I'm not as selfish as I am selfless, but I'm
Yeah.
kind of meh about everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm
So
twice as
it's
neutral as I am lawful.
that's the thing. Like I will say this, looking at it from like a D&D perspective, I always view wizards as true neutral
Yeah.
most of the time because they will do things within their own interest, but at the same time within reason and logic. They do not just act upon their own emotions all the time, although they do consider them,
Yeah.
but they also don't always act upon a logical way of thinking, but they try to, kind of thing, which I think is fair for us because we try to look at things from a fairly logical standpoint, but also factor in the emotions sometimes.
Yeah, because emotions are kind of a natural part of it. Like
Yeah.
you can't rule them out, but you can't have them decide everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we probably end it for this week.
A much better test. I wish we had taken this one first as opposed to the second one. The
Yeah,
first one we did.
next time we should. Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna take this long because this test was a fucking long one. And I should probably vetted this test before we started.
Check how many questions there were
Yeah.
first.
But it's fine. I'm probably gonna edit this down at some point. Like because let's be honest, making this a 2.5 hour show also not very on. But yeah, I had fun.
Yeah.
Good
A lot of fun.
times. We'll be back probably next week.
Yeah.
More topics. Maybe a guest. We can get one.
I'm sure we can get one. If
Just
not, we
one.
can just one of us can pretend to be one.
Yeah, with a second Discord account.
Yeah. Well, I think it should be this way.
Yeah. Hey, how come Guy and the nerd never interrupt each other? What's going on there? Oh, wait a second. Wait a second.
Are they the same person? Oh god. So, well, we should just now probably end things here.
Yes,
quickly before we
absolutely.
carry on. So, thank you for the people who did join us. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.
See you next time.